Hello, hello. Happy Saturday. Happy Saturday. Welcome. I know y'all are used to me being on a little earlier. So I do apologize, but I had to, luckily, gratefully, and thankfully, I shipped a few of the tarot decks out. So I did have to go to the post office this morning. So I did get to ship out some decks. Shout out to the people who supported already. I appreciate y'all. Good morning to y'all on TikTok. But thank y'all so much for supporting the deck so far. I have started with I did start with the Oracle deck. So the Oracle deck is underway. So very excited about that. I had a hard time deciding like how I wanted it to look, but I finally got how I wanted it to look. It looks cool. It's on a good track. We got about maybe like 10, 15 of the cards. So I'm excited about that. And yeah, so we had a Gemini first on TikTok, and we got Leo and Sagittarius. Thank you. I appreciate that. Thank you very much. And so we're just gonna wait for people to join. I know I normally am on here a little earlier, so hopefully it's gonna be as many people as it normally is. I know it's a Saturday, so people gonna be out, but it's all good. I had to ship those things out, so it's all right. It's for a good reason. I got Cancer and Aquarius, and yeah, let's see. So far we got Gemini, Leo, Sagittarius, Cancer, Aquarius. All right. Make sure y'all check out the deck. This is what we're going to be using today. And then when I do get the Oracle deck, that I'll just be only using my own cards. So, just throwing it out there. All right, Pisces. Oh, yeah. Also, that just reminded me because I remember you commented. I did do a birth chart video last night. So, if anybody's interested just in wondering how to read a birth chart or how to read the astrology transits, I did about a 30-minute video on that. I'm thinking about adding that as a service as well because I know people want to get their birth charts read. And I just kind of threw it out there because a lot of times you'll hear me referring to like astrology transits when I'm doing my readings. So I'll be like, okay, Mercury in this, and so when I'm saying certain things, it's like at least you will have a gist on where the hell I got that from. All right, so let's see. I'm writing down all y'all signs. So we got Gemini, Leo, Sag, Cancer, Aquarius, Pisces, Virgo, Taurus, Aries, Libra. All right, so that is what we got right now. How many is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. All right, so there's 2 missing. What's missing? Let me see. Aries, Taurus, Gemini, Cancer, Leo, Virgo, Libra, Scorpio, and Capricorn. So you got any Scorpio, Capricorn? I know you're a Capricorn rising. Oh, she said Scorpio first. All right, so I'll put Scorpio and we're going to do Capricorn. All right, y'all. So if you're watching me on TikTok, this is up on YouTube. It's going to be saved, time stamped. If something, if it takes too long, come back. Y'all know that the readings are between like 10 to 15 minutes long. So just let y'all know. All right, but yeah, so we'll get started. We got all the signs. Again, this is the order real quick. Gemini, Leo, Sag, Cancer, Aquarius, Pisces, Virgo, Taurus, Aries, Libra, Scorpio, Capricorn. All right, so we are on. I just saw you on Twitch. You said stand up for a fit check. Hi. Oh yeah, Twitch has a very different view. They can't really see my shirt, unfortunately. I need to keep that in mind. They're on the laptop. Let me move that down a little bit. Okay. Oh shoot, I need to have this set up so I can clip too. Hopefully, can I clip that or it's too late? Let's see how this works. All right, y'all. We're about to get started. All right, let's see here. Okay, so Gemini, let me timestamp it for y'all. Also, you guys on TikTok, don't get scammed. I always give y'all that warning, especially since we are growing. Luckily, thankfully, there will be fake pages and things like that. All right, Geminis. Gemini is never first, actually. I just realized that. But shout out to Geminis. Let's see. Let's see. All right, so what is the center of the reading for you, Geminis? Let's see. What is the center of the reading for the Geminis? Yourself. All right, this is your card, or one of the cards that represents you, the sexuality card. Just if this is your first time watching as a Gemini, it does not mean you guys are just automatically sexual. It is literally because the Lover's card has the man, the woman, masculine, and feminine. That's really all it is. But yeah, so the center of the reading is you, Geminis. So what about you? What about you? Okay, resistance. Okay, so we can see that if this is, I feel like something about this is visible. We can see that you're resistant. We can see that you're trying to hold back. All right, so what might you be resisting, Geminis? I knew that was going to come out. It's truth. Either you don't want people to see the truth, you don't want to accept the truth. I figured that was going to come out. There's a reason I knew that that was going to come out, but there's another Gemini that I noticed going through something. All right, so the truth about what, Geminis? Looks like we're going to get in y'all business. Thank you, Izzy. I appreciate that. Okay, the truth about, we got fluidity, inspiration, and transition. Let me get one more. Dominance. That's what I was getting. So there is an energy where you may have a way of literally like kind of, you know how to like get somebody to be on your side, or get somebody to, like, you're able to inspire somebody to do something, and then it turns into you controlling the situation. I'm not gonna lie, I don't like inspiration transitioning to dominance. That's like kind of, you start off good, you start off being like nice or kind to somebody, and then it turns into wanting to maybe control. What are you inspiring people or someone to do here? Let's see. Could be dealing with an Aquarius. Yeah, see, guidance. You're inspiring people to listen to you or follow after you, and then what? What are you able to dominate or control? Yeah, intuition. I feel like, and then you got love and resilience. So it's like if you're able to inspire people to listen to you, they go against their own intuition, or yeah. So the way I'm going to read this today, you guys already kind of know what this is. If it's resistance and truth, you already know what it is. All right, so it's not like I'm putting your business out there. It's not like this is going to be shocking to you. I feel like this reading is about you kind of accepting that fact. What other energy, let's see, what other energy should you be in? All right, yeah, self-esteem, yeah. Okay, what might, so you are going to get offended. I will say this too. Typically, I look at this card as like the Nine of Wands card. 9 is a number of self. So this might be a good time to kind of stay to yourself, stay a little isolated. What else might offend you here? Especially because something looks obvious. So if you're able to keep to yourself, I feel like we can see it. What might offend you is humor. I feel like it's groups of people. Yeah, it's a group of people. Let me get one more. It's a lot of people viewing you. I knew that was the next card, Gemini again. I'm a beast with it. But anyway, it's a lot of people watching you, viewing you. This could be your family or like co-workers. All right, so let's get the tarot. If y'all are new here, this is my new deck. So check it out if you want to use a new deck. They came out pretty nice. All right, so let's see. Soon I'll be only using my own cards, so. All right, let's see. 8 cards. It's very clear. There you go again. The Lovers, Emperor. It could be an Aries that can see you, but I feel like literally your identity, we can see you as a person. But I feel like you are with an Aries. Let's see. You got the Queen of Wands. There's a Death card. So there's that transition. I feel like you were able to change something like actively. I'm also getting too, if there's people involved, I feel like an Aries is telling the truth about you to a Scorpio, if these are people. Um, there's definitely a Scorpio. Yeah, the Page of Swords. Yeah, people are watching. People can see something. There's a High Priestess, intuition. I can't. I mean, it's so clear. It's so clear. Yeah, the Tower. Um, you do have a way to shake up how people think, or let's see what is someone's intuition telling them about you. Yep, literally guidance. This is the Three of Cups, right? So you're able to get people to focus on this and they kind of ignore what their intuition is telling them. What are you able to get people to focus on down here? Thank you for the donut. Let's see. What are people focused on? It's like you inspire them to look at something else when they should be paying attention to something. Okay, the King of Pentacles. So I don't know if this is you, you may make people pay attention to how much money you have. It's like money and status makes people ignore another element. So now what what are they ignoring? Yeah, the Five of Cups. Yeah, and in the world. This is I'm not gonna lie. I feel like, yeah, I feel like I already said the signs here. I feel like we can identify you, we can see you, you cause some type of change transition. The major signs that are coming out are Aries, Gemini, and Scorpio. Possibly dealing with an Aquarius as well. But I do feel like we can observe you, we're noticing you. So let's see what energy you should be in with self-esteem. This may not be a good time to like put yourself out there. So let's see. You said this is juicy straight out the gate. I already fit Gemini. I don't want to tell y'all why I knew that about Gemini, but the best thing I can say is there is something currently in the news with a Gemini. So I already knew that this was going to be something like that. So I kind of cheated on that one, but it confirmed it. So, I mean, I already knew. It said there's a Gemini in the news. It's probably about to go to jail. Y'all can do some research. I'm not saying y'all. I'm not saying the other Geminis, but just, all right. But what energy should you be in with self-esteem, Geminis? Let's see. Yeah, judgment. Because this is the thing. The whole part of the reading is you're resisting truth. So when we get resistance, that means you know the truth. It's not like you have to figure out anything. It's not like you have to overthink, or you don't even really need a reading. You already know the truth. Like you don't want people to see the truth or whatever. But I would recommend kind of like, yeah, because there's a Ten of Pentacles. So those are the groups of people. It's a bunch of people. And they can see you, they can see what's going on. We did mention love here. I see the Queen of Cups, the Hierophant, and the Empress. There could also be something when it comes to like marriage, dating. If you're a man watching, it's somebody that you have a child with. But I mean, yeah, that's pretty much what it is. You're able to get people to kind of pay attention to like how much money you have or something like that, or like your status, or like maybe even like a job title. This can also be like who you're related to, your family, who you come from. And then once you're able to do that, you're able to kind of control somebody. You get them to ignore how they think. You get them to ignore their intuition. If their intuition is telling them the Five of Cups, like that's much different than this. This is what they're looking at, but this is really what they're feeling or what's going on. So yeah, that's your reading, Gemini. So we started off pretty strong with y'all. All right. And next up is Leo. So if y'all just now joining, y'all, the order is Gemini, Leo, Sagittarius, Cancer, Aquarius, Pisces, Virgo, Taurus, Aries, Libra, Scorpio, and Capricorn. All right. So that is what we are doing. All right, let's see. All right, y'all. Also, really quick, I want to give this disclaimer because I did a personal reading for somebody, but they were not open to the advice. If you guys are watching me as a reader, I'm going to give you realistic advice. All right. I'm going to give you advice that will help you achieve the goal that you're trying to achieve. If that's not the type of advice you want, do not come to me. This is not a channel where you're going to automatically hear, oh, you're going to wake up to $10,000 tomorrow. Oh, you're going to be a millionaire. Oh, you're on the track to be famous. That's just not realistic. In real life, you have to take certain steps to have a cause and effect sort of narrative. All right. So if there is a certain effect or a certain outcome that you are trying to reach, that is how we are going to do the reading. We're going to talk about what energy or what action you should take to get the result that you want. Okay? So if you don't like that I gave you that type of reading, don't come to me for no reading. That's how it's going to go. That's just, this is not a make-believe fairy tale, unicorns and rainbows. Oh my gosh, the Ace of Pentacles means I'm going to get a new opportunity falling out the sky. That's not how we read over here. Okay? So I just had to throw it out there because if you don't know, now you know. All right, so Leo is next. Let me timestamp that for y'all. Let's see. Thank you. I appreciate that. Not everything was falling apart. I do want to give a thank you to all the people who did remember me and come back. I genuinely was surprised. I didn't think people would try to find me again. So I do appreciate y'all. And I appreciate all my supporters, my day ones. Oh, that flew out. All right, defiance and personality. All right, Leos. What is the center of your reading, Leos? All right, so confidence. All right, so independence, having your own, building something up, feeling confident without any external validation. All right. So what role do you play here, Leos? We know that you guys rule confidence. You're ruled by the sun. All right, so right now your resilience, the 10 of Wands. So you could be having a tough time, but you're able to handle it. I feel like you're taking on a lot here. If you're actually physically moving, you have like too much with you. Like you got a lot of baggage, or you could be taking on somebody else's baggage, or you got a lot going on. Okay, so pardon me, what might be difficult for you all to handle at the moment? Okay. Intuition, sexuality, and order. So literally the reading that I just did on Gemini, yeah, you might have a Leo placement. All right, let's figure that out. Let's see. Vision, hustle, and perspective. If that part, so like what I talked about in the reading, right? I said that people are paying attention to Gemini's like money, status, who they're related to, things like that, instead of ignoring instead of following their intuition. This could be a similar situation that you're going through. Like you paid attention to maybe something else or something material, and now you may have ignored your intuition about something else. So we're going to clarify. Let's see. What other energy should you be in here, Leos? Okay, voice. What do you need to speak up on? Okay, you've got ambition, self-love, and healing. All right, well, so you could be talking about your own career. I feel like, too, you may need to make that known to somebody. Like, I have to work on this. I want to build this. I want to stay consistent. This might be that you have to tell someone this. For you working on something, building on something, focusing on your career, that could be a form of healing for you. That could be fixing something for you. I'm not sure what the Gemini part had to do with it, but we'll see. Let's continue. Let's get a card. So yeah, this is about you working, focusing on something that actually is a solution for you right now. That could be also, while we're talking about vision, hustle, and perspective, you may realize, like money, status, a certain title, that helps you in life, or that helps you with certain things. So you could just be like, yeah, I want to stay consistent. I really want to build something up. All right, so let's get 8 cards. Oh, wait, hold on. Sorry, y'all. Some of these are flipped. How'd that happen? Hold on. Sorry. Ooh. All right, so let's see. Let's get 8 cards. Leos. Okay, you got the moon, the 10 of cups. So in your reading, we're talking about a group of people as well. Okay. Looks like an entire, okay, your reading has a lot of messages that I can already pull. Let me do these first. Hold on, let me pull all the cards first. So I'm getting a lot of messages. There you are, the 10 of wands. All right. You're doing something difficult. You're handling all this baggage, but you're right next to the 7 of swords, which means somebody is taking a like taking a shortcut while you're handling baggage, or somebody's intention is for you to handle some of the baggage here. This centers around family for you as well, with the 10 of cups and the moon. This centers around like a family scenario. I'm also getting to specifically if you are a woman or a mother. The moon rules women and mothers, so I feel like there is some sort of dynamic where the family is depending on a woman or depending on a mother here. We're going to see what's hidden with the moon, because that typically means there are things that are hidden. I'm also getting to the reason that you're doing something in a difficult manner is because something is hidden, or like information may be hidden. What are we looking at with the moon real quick? Yeah, the 9 of Pentacles. That's what I'm saying. It's like something behind the scenes, or everybody's observing this independent person. Okay. What is everybody observing about this person or this energy? And right now, so it's like there's an energy where it's independence, but at the same time, it's the 10 of wands. So maybe that's how you feel. Maybe you're like, okay, yeah, I'm able to do this, that, and the third by myself. I am independent. I'm able to support myself, but it's a lot of work, or it's very difficult to deal with. So what else are we observing here with the 9 of Pentacles? And then we're going to see what the 7 of Swords is. Yep, King of Pentacles. That came out in the Gemini reading. So it does have something to deal with who's getting support or monetary value, and that kind of plays a part in how people are perceived or something like that. So let's see what the 7 of Swords is. Because that typically, the way this looks is like you're kind of doing a lot of work, but somebody around you is getting away with something. It's like, what's inspiring you to be the 10 of wands? It's like something is difficult for you to do, but it's what you're viewing outside of you. What's inspiring you to do that? This reading, or like a reading. There's a reading where it says somebody reaches out to you or is going to approach you or date you. I don't know what y'all, whatever reading you watched, there's a reading where somebody said that someone's going to approach you or date you. If you use your own cards, right? If you pull your own cards, that's how you're reading the cards. You're like, so-and-so is supposed to approach me and date me, or somebody is supposed to come into my life and date me, or there's some sort of decision that you made out of love or a relationship. There can also be some sort of dynamic with an Aquarius. That's what's going on. Okay. There's definitely something about how you view like love. So I don't know if you guys saw a reading. Now, y'all know, I don't think it was me, because I'm very picky with my love readings. Y'all know me. But if you, those that watch me, y'all know I'm not going to give y'all, it ain't no, okay. Anyway, y'all know me by now. If you're going through something difficult, I feel like it's due to a reading. Like there was a reading where somebody told you to, or like somebody told you to love somebody, or you had like a date, or somebody was coming into your life, or they read something as if it was a soulmate. I'm also getting to, if it was not a reading, somebody told you to make a decision when it came to children, dating and children, or something like that. All right, so let's figure out what the 7 of Swords is then. Let's see. What is the 7 of Swords? What is somebody's intentions here? Yeah, there's intuition. That's what I'm saying. Something you were told was not intuition. Something you were taught, and you're dealing with it in a struggle manner because you be careful with what kind of reader you watch. I know I didn't get no reading about no love, but it could have been. I highly doubt it. Let's see what what's actually occurring here. So somebody did not use intuition or to tell you this decision. Yeah, the Knight of Swords. So somebody jumped, like either somebody jumped to a conclusion, they rush to judgment. Somebody did not calm down and think about something. If this is within yourself and you're dealing with something that may be difficult right now, it's just because you just didn't follow your intuition yet. You kind of jumped to a conclusion or jumped into something. Let's see what this is. What were you told here? Looks like something about like love or a relationship. Yeah, potential. Yeah, potential spirituality. And you have defense and guidance. So it's something about, let's see, what would your intuition tell you to do? Style. What did you rush in and do instead? Maybe something with a Cancer. You may have Cancer placements. What did you rush or jump to a conclusion? Yeah, see, courage. Okay. So there is an energy too where, what did you have the courage to do? It's like some belief system or something like that. Yeah, passion. Yeah, rebellion. And now something, and then you got humor. So now something is difficult because you follow like a passion or you follow like an inclination out of nowhere. Now, if somebody gave you a reading on like love or something like that, that's the part like you went with like something sexual. What else were you supposed to do with style energy? Because style also as a Cancer could be moving on or moving forward, keep moving forward with something. Yeah, that's the Six of Wands. Something that would have your advice or your intuition would have had you doing something more successful, or you would have not been dealing with a lot. Like remember, you're in the Ten of Wands, so you wouldn't have been dealing with any like somebody else's baggage or something like that. Something might have been easier for you to do by yourself, or okay, so what did you end up doing or rush into doing? Yeah, the Page of Swords. There's the Hangman. Yeah, there needs to be a different perspective on something that you're reading, watching. If you pull your own cards, I would look deeper into different meanings or like kind of practice them. So one piece of advice that I give people, if you're trying to do your own cards, pull a card, like say you're on your way to work, pull a card before you go to work and see what happens throughout the day, right? Like that's something that can help you get familiar with it. I tell this story a lot, right? So I tell this story about how I really, really learned how to predict on my own. So the day it was when I was working at a Muse Paint Bar at the National Harbor. I was a paint instructor. And that day I just pulled a few cards and I remember that the Three of Cups and the Four of Wands came out together. And I said, okay, well, I look at that as marriage or like a celebration. So I said, okay, something about marriage is going to come up. Maybe it's like a conversation about marriage. That day, when I went to work, there were three people proposing. So that's how I learned. That's how I started to practice it. So do something like that so that you can kind of figure out how to move or how to read it. So let's just see. I mean, may I because this looks like a love reading. I don't y'all know I don't be giving no love reads, but it could be. So let's see, where did the advice come from possibly? Even if it's not a reading, it could be like some piece of advice that someone gave you. All right, but what else is this about here? Or who, I'm sorry, who gave you the reading or who told you to do this? Okay, the Queen of Swords. All right, so it's a, I did pull the star, so it could be an Aquarius, but it's an air sign. Yeah, see, there, Eight of Cups, and then there you are, the Strength card, and then you come out as the Nine of Swords, so you start worrying. You start worrying and being really anxious, or you start overthinking something. So you went away, you listened to the, okay, let's see. So why did they tell you this? They're coming out as a Queen of Swords. That's kind of... Okay, it looks like they got to be in charge here, the Hierophant and the Emperor. Let's clarify. It could have something to do with a Taurus and an Aries. Who's the Queen of Swords, or why are they... Because the Queen of Swords can be kind of angry too. Personality, sexuality, and truth. Is it a Gemini? Did you get... Did you get that from a Gemini? I don't know if you got... Is there's a piece of advice that you got from a Gemini that may have been bad advice, or... This could, like, say you have... This could be where you have a Gemini placement. Gemini rules our mind, our decisions. All right, so this could have been like a logical decision versus intuition, or like, you know, a decision that you made maybe based on something that you perceive and you went into it. But I feel like this is a Gemini or somebody with Gemini placement. All right, so let's see then. What energy should you be in then, Leos? Okay, you got resistance. What should you resist here? Okay, defiance. You're going to really want to go against something. Okay, you got emotions and fluidity. If you feel a certain type of way, make sure that you feel that energy. Don't try to, because I feel like this is a lot. You know, when you pull a 10 of Wands, that means you're dealing with a lot, doing a lot, taking on other people's stuff. But resist defiance. So what are you supposed to do here? You're going to want to go against it. Yeah, potential and mood. I feel like you need to see that something may be a potential loss, or right now you're going through a lot. You need to try to simplify something, find a better loophole, or find a better like scenario. What else are you going to want to do instead? Yeah, defiance, power. You got to transition again. It says angel and peace. So I feel like look at something as it's a potential loss, or it's okay to feel like you're struggling. It's okay to feel like you're going through a lot. But just know that the energy that you're in, I feel like you kind of rushed into something because you were courageous about it. You felt like also that you weren't going to be afraid, or like you're trying to face your fears. Like you did something. You know how they tell people do it afraid or do it nervous? But I feel like that ended up being like a lot of baggage, or a lot that you had to handle on your own. All right. So, you know, I would say like be as honest with yourself as possible with how you feel in the scenario that you might be in. If you're in your head, like, you know, I don't really feel like it's a burden, I'm able to handle it, that's fine. You know, I feel like if you know, because the 10 of Wands can also be you are able to handle something. So just keep that in mind. All right. I'm not ignoring y'all comments. Welcome. If you're new here and if you're on TikTok, this is going to be up on YouTube. All right. So this will be saved, time stamped. We don't go in order of the zodiac. So we go in order of first come, first serve. So real quick, we did Gemini. We just finished Leo. So those are up on YouTube. We're about to do Sag, Cancer, Aquarius, Pisces, Virgo, Taurus, Aries, Libra, Scorpio, Capricorn. Each reading is between about 10-15 minutes. And yeah, and if the reading resonates and you need a personal reading, everything is linked in my bios. All right, and today we're using a hip hop oracle deck, and we're using my deck that I created, Life's Tarot, that is available in my store as well if you like how the cards are depicted. All right, so that was the first thing. Yeah, North Node in Gemini. Why don't I have a ring on my finger? I just don't want one, honestly. I haven't met somebody that... I haven't met a man that I want to marry yet. So that's really all it is, quite frankly. All right, Sagittarius is next. Sag is next. Let's put 3430. All right, Sages. Let's see what's going on for the Sages. You said you're here, baby. You got JCPenney rings for $200. That's okay. I'm fine. I really don't even like diamonds. I like gold. So if you want to impress me, give me real gold rings. All right, let's see. Sagittarius. What's the energy surrounding my Sagittarius? Let's see. All right, confidence. All right, so that came out in Leo's reading too. So there's independence. Let's see. Might change that timestamp. So we're talking about independence, confidence, doing things well for ourselves, independence. This doesn't have to be you, though. This could be somebody else, all right? All right, so what role do you play here, Sagittarius? Okay, self-love, all right? So you're making sure you're comfortable. What are you doing out of self-love here? Let's see. Okay, you've got potential, resistance, and rebellion. Okay, so literally what I just told Leo, literally, told them to resist rebelling or to hold back. If this is for you, Sagittarius, you know that you're trying to resist going against the grain. You're trying to make sure that you're following, I guess, whatever rules and regulations for yourself. All right, what other energy should you be in, Sag? Okay, perspective. So, okay, what perspective? Let's see. How should view what? A perspective on what? So, when you get perspective, it's to have an open mind or to be like a positive outlook, but a perspective on what? Let's see. Perspective on what? Humor. I've been saying that I need to figure out that, okay, your perspective on happiness or perspective on indulgences, things that you enjoy. It could be a perspective on fantasies or a perspective on a group of people here. All right, so what should your perspective be currently with humor? Sexuality, finesse, and superstition. The Gemini reading. Perspective on humor would be somebody lying and worrying, or somebody... Okay, that's interesting. Okay, so a Gemini... Okay, first of all, Sagittarius is... Gemini is opposite of you. So regardless of what somebody's sign is somebody that's opposite of you. Finesse is typically when somebody is lying or trying to do something sneaky and trying to get away with it, but now they are worried. And that is interesting because perspective on humor is odd. So maybe it's like a nervous laughter, or that is weird. Okay, well, let's see. Let's see what we're going to do. Let's get 8 cards. Thank you. I appreciate the compliments. Thank y'all. All right, so let's get 8 cards. Yeah, perspective on humor. That's odd. Now I'm like, wait, what? All right, so you got the Eight of Pentacles, Knight of Wands, the Hermit. Okay, so there could be a Virgo involved, but also the Knight of Wands is your energy. So this could be something that you've built up on, and now you have the knowledge. So we're going to clarify everything. All right, but you've built up on it, you've worked on it, and now you have the knowledge and the wisdom with the Hermit, or you could be dealing with a Virgo. All right. Queen of Pentacles, the Hierophant, Ace of Swords. There's your new perspective. The Emperor, the Two of Swords. All right, so there's people involved. There's something with a Virgo, Taurus, and an Aries. All right, so that's one thing. If we're going to center this on you first, and then we'll get the clarity on the other parts. So if there's a Virgo here, they're observing you work or build up on something. You're building it up very fast. All right, so you built it up, you worked it up, boom. Virgo sees it. Virgo is going to show this to a Taurus. That Taurus is going to view an Aries differently after this. All right, so that's a chain reaction. I don't know what that has to do with you. We're going to clarify. So a perspective on humor, and then you need to view it. You got... So Gemini, it could be your mind, your mindset. All right, so what are we looking at? What is humor in this case? That's what I'm saying. Yeah, the Three of Swords. That's not funny. That's Gemini energy. So something is a lie, disappointing, or heartbreaking. That's weird. Okay, so we're looking at the Three of Swords. Okay. I'm going to show... See, this is what I'm saying. There's a Three of Swords judgment. So somebody lying, saying blah, 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 right? There's a Page of Cups moon, but then there's the High Priestess. There's humor. So this is like, it's hard for me to explain it because it's like, okay, I'm sending, this is your intuition. And then there's humor, but it starts from a lie. It starts from somebody else lying, either to you. Okay, let's clarify. All right, so finesse and superstition. What is somebody's intentions here with finesse? This reading doesn't make much sense. So somebody's intentions is the Knight of Pentacles. They want something to be on a steady path. It's supposed to be continuous. They want something to grow steady, smoothly. I'm also getting to, you came out as a Knight of Wands. That's your energy. You're normally quick or fast, or you take action very fast, but the intention is for something to be slower. All right, slow and steady. Okay, what's actually occurring? Something's not, this is a weird reading. We're going to see what it means. The King of Pentacles, this is the Gemini reading. What does that have to do with you? I don't. So you got the King of Pentacles, the Empress, and then the World. So this is what's going on. It's like there's a masculine energy that's focusing on the Empress or focusing on something that's been created. Or, okay, I don't know what the fuck this is. I'm not going to lie. Let's see. So, because it's like if you're the Empress, that means you already learned that lesson. You're already following your intuition. Something is already comfortable. It's already set up. But there's like there is a man watching you, or there's a man watching a woman. Like very focused on a woman. And it's supposed to look like they're not, or like they're on a different path, or like they're walking away. But they are focused on a woman. What that has to do with you, I really don't. That could be why sexuality is coming out, because that's masculine and feminine. And it's supposed to appear like the masculine energy is like walking away or doesn't care about something, but really there's a masculine energy focused on a woman, like all the time. Hold on, y'all. We got a scammer. Don't DM y'all. Don't DM them. Hold on. Don't DM nobody on TikTok. Don't do that. So it's something like that. It's like, hold on, let me show YouTube first. So it's like this man, or if it's a Gemini involved, they're focused on this woman. It is very visible. This is odd. This is odd. I'm not going to lie. So let's see. What energy should you be in with attitude then? Yeah, the Wheel of Fortune. So you're still, that's a good energy. You're still in a good energy. Maybe you should view something about you being fortunate. I have no idea what, I don't know what somebody else has to do with you though. I don't know what that gym, yeah, there's a Temperance. Humor. You're right there. I don't. All right, let's see. This is a weird reading, Sagittarius. I'm sorry. I might have to do a bonus for y'all, because that's strange. I don't really get it. All right, but with the Wheel of Fortune, what's working out for you right now, Sagittarius? What is it time for you to do right now? Okay, so you got change. So a change is working out for you, or something will change and that will work out for you. So what is the current energy? You have self-love. So what else is the current energy here? Okay, potential. And then what are we changing it into? Ooh. Okay, resistance. What, you have resistance and rebellion. What else do you need to resist for yourself? Mystery. Okay, hiding what? Hiding what here with mystery? I feel like too, there's nothing that you need to be confused about. Remember, I saw the High Priestess. If this is about you feeling confused, I don't see any cards that make you seem like you should be confused at this point. You have the Hermit. You have a lot of knowledge. So there's nothing else for you to figure out in a situation. But let's see. So what would be hidden here? Resist, maybe hiding yourself. Guidance, guided by what? I said that in the Gemini reading. Voice. Yeah, superstition. Who is this? What is going on? Voice, superstition, and courage. If you went through a situation, Sagittarius, where somebody told you to be courageous and go do something, and because that's what came out in the Leo reading. Maybe there is a situation you got to explain that story. Because the Leo reading, they said something about not being, like, they listened to some advice about not being worried and they rushed to judgment or they rushed into something. So there could be a scenario here too where it's like, okay, this person told me to do this, that, and the third, but it didn't work out. I listened to that and that did not work out. So you might have to share this story with another person, or like share this story with a Leo or a Gemini or something like that. What else did somebody say with voice, superstition, and courage? I feel like too, you may have listened. There was a scenario where you listened to a literal superstition. So you know how people say, "Oh, do it afraid." Maybe that's not real. Maybe that doesn't really apply. Or, all right, let's see. So what did somebody say with voice here? It started out as the Three of Swords. Yeah, the Star, the Sun, Four of Cups, and then the Eight of Swords. So it could be an Aquarius, Leo. But they didn't whenever they said this, they don't realize. That's why we say perspective. That's why your advice is attitude. Whatever this was, whatever you were told, it came from a trap mindset anyway. Odd reading. This is an odd read. I'm not gonna lie. This one's kind of all over the place. All right, what other energy should you be in? Let's see. So you got innovation. You're able to create something here. All right, what are you able to create for yourself? Because I don't know what any of that. Yeah, knowledge. That's what I'm saying. Knowledge, transition. You got fight and attitude. So maybe you're going to have to. This is the thing, right? If you're starting out as knowledge, and I said that in the beginning, if you're starting out as knowledge, of course, people are going to be conflicted by your perspective or argue with you or go back and forth or whatever. It just depends on what you're knowledgeable about or what you're saying you have information on. I'm also getting to, if you know something, it's okay for you to start challenging that perspective and being open-minded and looking at things differently. Let me get one more. Yeah, okay, maybe there's a Libra that has a trap mindset. Somebody has a trap mindset, definitely. A perspective on a trapped mindset, or continuously focusing. What is somebody trapped thinking about? It's like somebody can't stop thinking about something, or what is somebody thinking about all the time, or they're always focused on it? All right, it could be marriage. Somebody could be always focused on marriage, sex, and they have like a trap mindset about that. So that could challenge you. What else do you have knowledge in here? It just depends on what this is. Yeah, self-love. That's the thing. It's like you started out with self-love and then Six of Wands. So I feel like the reading is weird because you started off trusting yourself in the beginning anyway. You started off as the King of Cups. You started off as self-love. You started off as doing something successful. And then it turns into like other advice or other people telling you this, that, and the third. Or I feel like the person that gave you the advice is overly focused on partnerships all the time. They may not be able to do something solo. They may not be able to do anything alone, or they're always focused on marriage or sex. That's somebody's only goal or something like that. But you're coming out as somebody like you would rather attention. I will also say this too with innovation coming out as your advice. If you're getting bored watching things, it's time for you to start creating your own stuff or doing a new hobby, or like creating your own maybe content or creating your own item. Like if something does not work out for you and you need a better solution, go ahead and do that. Like a good story that I could use in this example about me listening to somebody with a trap mindset, and I've used this example before. The main reason that I started doing readings is because a lot of the readers were bad. It's just point blank, period. Now, I'm not always 100% right. I'm not always perfect. I don't always know everything. But a lot of readers that I would watch, there was never like a solution to anything. It never really gave good advice. A lot of the readers were always like focused on love and twin flames. And it's like, okay, well, I would like to get some money, or like, what career should I do? or, you know, what's best for my family. Like, it's never any other topics. It's always it's always like, oh, that's your soulmate, and this is the divine feminine, and that's his karmic partner, and the third party is doing this. And like, there was another reader that I saw, and it just popped up. I didn't watch the reading, but I saw the headline. It says something like, somebody used their beauty to get what they wanted, and now they're getting karma. I don't even believe in stuff like that. I feel like every woman should use their beauty. Like, that don't even make sense. It's like like something, I don't know. So it's something like that is the type of advice you were getting, or so I feel like you need to remember that time, or you might have to share this type of story with somebody else. Because what you're looking at was a three of swords. It wasn't humorous, it wasn't happy, it was a lie, and then you come out like this. So that's the odd part. It's like you actually came out with the Wheel of Fortune, the Temperance. You actually came out with the Nine of Cups. Very odd. This is an odd reading. I'm not gonna lie. What's the outcome for you, Sagittarius? That's a weird reading. What's the outcome for you? It might come back out. Yeah, courage, defiance, inspiration, and fluidity. Let's see. That seems like that's all over the place. All right, one card of the energy for you in the outcome. I'll just take one so we're not overdoing it. Thank you, Truth Rises, for the compliment. So the outcome is the Nine of Pentacles. That's where we started. So that was a long that was a long story. That's why I was like, what the fuck? Like, what does that mean? All right, we'll figure it out. You'll probably come out in somebody else's reading. I might do a Sag bonus for you guys. So you came out as a Nine of Pentacles. I will say too, with Leo, the Nine of Pentacles came out, and they kind of came out as a Ten of Wands. That's where I was saying, like, you're more in self-love. You're being a little more selfish, so you may have less baggage, or you may be taking on less of people's responsibilities. So that could be what it is, versus like Leo is taking on other people's responsibilities or something like that. Typically, the Nine of Pentacles is also like single and alone. So some of y'all may not have children. That could be the difference. Maybe that's something that somebody's comparing. All right, let me make a note of that. We might do a Sag bonus later because that didn't make... All right, Cancers, let's see. I be saying it don't make sense. And then tomorrow I'm be like, oh, yeah, that's what happened. And I'm going to come back and be like, oh, yeah, I found out. I found out what it means. I be doing that every day. All right, Cancers. Let's see, Cancers. What's going on in y'all business? Yeah, there's a lot of rabbit holes when it comes to the tarot world. But anywho. All right, so what energy is coming out for the Cancers? What's the situation for the Cancers? Let's see. Okay, courage. So this must be the center of something. All right, so courage. The courage to do what? Okay, potential. So that the courage to see, I feel like the potential in something. So somebody's like, oh, I'm not afraid to see that will work out, or I'm not afraid to, I feel like too, somebody's not afraid to deliver the message. They're like, I'll say it, I'll do it. All right, what role do you play here, Cancers? You say it's just you and your plants. Okay, so your versatility. So in the Sag reading where I said somebody was focused on the Empress, somebody's focused on you, Cancer. Okay, see, you see how it be coming together? All right, so somebody's focused on you. But anyway, you're comfortable. You have incorporated some sort of lesson that you've learned. You're on a good track. You are currently in a space of something that you have previously manifested. All right, so you're comfortable. You're doing good. All right, what other energy should you be in here, Cancers, for yourself? Let's see. Okay, so you've got knowledge. So this, to me, this combination, I feel like you have already learned this lesson before. You're not confused. You've been in this situation before. And I do want to connect this to the Leo reading. The Leo had that they should have done something maybe with you or worked with you, because something or done something maybe similar to what you're doing. Because if they do something similar to what you're doing, then they wouldn't have had like such a difficult time possibly. All right, so what do you have information about? What do you have wisdom about? You've already experienced this. You've learned this before. Okay, intuition, change, and dominance. Let's see, dominance and connectivity. All right, so we did talk about Sag knowing that they need to change their perspective. So intuition, change, dominance, and connectivity. Intuition has control over over a trapped mindset. That is what you know. All right, let's see. I feel like too, somebody could intuitively know that maybe a Scorpio with change controls somebody, how somebody thinks or somebody views something. All right, so let's see. Let's get 8 cards. Let's see what else. Okay, you got the World. So something just, there it is. Intuition, the High Priestess. All right, so you already know that your intuition is correct, or you know, yeah, there's a Hangman. Literally, you know intuitively that you have to have a new perspective. There could also be something dealing with a Pisces. There's the Lovers. There it is. These are the same cards. All right, so it does make sense. Sorry to the Sagittarius. Now it makes sense. Damn, why these are so major? I got the Justice. Okay. All right, the Nine of Cups, the Emperor, and the King of Wands. These are major cards. All right, so first of all, literally, we intuitively know that we need a new perspective on Gemini energy or on the Lover's card itself, right? So this does tie to, okay, these are tied together. Where I said in the Leo reading where they were getting a certain like reading or something like that, or a certain piece of advice, intuitively we know we need to look at the Lover's card differently, or we need to look at Gemini energy differently. If there's anything dealing with people, we intuitively know something about a Pisces, Gemini, and a Libra. A Pisces, Gemini, and a Libra have something directly connected to an Aries. We already know that. All 4 of these people are connected, or all 4 of these people are working together or with each other or something like that. There's a million ways I can read this, so just bear with me. I feel like intuitively too, we know that literally our perspective, how we think, what do we find as happiness? What do we think is happiness? Because Pisces is our last water sign, that determines at the end, are you happy or sad, right? That's the end of the astrological wheel. I feel like too, intuitively, we're going from Pisces to Aries. We're going backwards. We're thinking about how am I going to feel at the end, and what do I need to do as a person to be in that position, right? So that's kind of what so that is what I said in the in between the readings, where I was saying, okay, the type of reading we're going to give is what outcome are you looking for, and what do you need to do to get that outcome? So I feel like this is something about that, like a different perspective on happiness, or opening up our mind. All right, so this started with the World card. Something had to end in order for our intuition to kick in and for you to be more clear-minded. So what do we bring to an end here? Ooh. They still slippery, y'all. They're new. All right, let me get y'all out of here, because I don't know what you're typing. All right, let's see. So what came to an end for you to have your intuition kick in here? Or somebody else's, it just depends. The Page of Pentacles. So what this means is, instead of taking things at face value, you're going to start to trust your intuition. That's exactly what that means. It has not, something doesn't have anything to do with just what I'm looking at. Like, that's why when I read cards, I can pick up on different scenarios, or I can pick up on different situations. I'm not just looking at the card. Like this, if I look at that, I'm like, oh yeah, there's going to be an angel that brings you a husband. That's what that card is showing you. But that's not what that means. Like, it's like that is not what that means. That's taking something at face value and just taking it for whatever somebody tells me it is. So that's the difference. I feel like you're going to stop taking other people's messages or looking at something at face value. You're going to have to look into something more. Let's see, where did this come from? And also what we're talking about is the courage and potential to just believe that anything will work out. Everything doesn't always work out. Everything it doesn't always have potential. It just doesn't. Not everything will not always work out, or everything, you can't just take everything at face value. I feel like too, there is an energy of wanting to deliver certain messages or wanting to present certain things to people, but that's not always necessary. What else is potential going to have you doing or thinking instead of trusting your intuition? It's already over, so I wouldn't worry about it. Yeah, the Six of Cups. So something would have you being overly generous, nice, kind, maybe even sympathetic when there is no need for that. It's like you're not supposed to be that sympathetic. What is the result of your intuition here? The Queen of Swords. All right, so now it's reversed from Leo energy. So something would be less something in this case would be less for, you're supposed to be forgiving or something like that. Now you would cut something off. So what would we be cutting off here? There's somebody expressing and asking for somebody to give them something. Yeah. We would stop asking for, I feel like this is about family. That could be why the Sag reading was a perspective on humor. Somebody wants a lot of acceptance from their family. Somebody wants a lot of acceptance also from people who are different than them. Somebody wants a lot of acceptance from whoever these people are. It's their family, or I feel like it's their family. And I feel like that comes from wanting like some sort of compassion. This stops somebody from falling into like some sort of fantasy here. Yeah, see the Five of Pentacles and the Five of Cups following after that is like, is this really family, or is this really... I feel like intuitively too, somebody thinks something is funny. The Nine of Cups. It's somebody thinks something is funny, and it's I'm assuming it's not supposed to. How does this appear to us? I want to leave these cards here, and I want to do another spread with how this would appear, because you're seeing this. We're seeing this because of intuition. We're able to see this situation here because of instincts. So let's see. Let's get 6 more cards. That's 6, yeah. There you go, Cancer. The Eight of Pentacles, the Chariot, Five of Pentacles, the Five of Cups, the Ace of Cups, and then the Ace of Pentacles. Yeah, these are completely different energies, like completely. Something would be centered around you, but you're already the Empress. So what would you be in the Chariot if we're not following our intuition? This could be compassion for children. Cancer does rule children, motherhood, things like that. What would be going on here? I'm also getting the past. We would keep repeating the past over and over with no result. Something would also look like something would also look like you're at a loss, but you're not, Cancer. You are not missing anything. I feel like that's what this is too. Like if you're going through anything with a family dynamic, right? Because Cancers typically have an odd, like, kind of family dynamic. Like typically, and this may not be all Cancers, but a lot of them can be kind of isolated, or like they may come from like single parent homes, and then they have a lot of friends. So they'll have like a lot of friends outside of home, stuff like that. But something is supposed to look like Cancer, like you're at a loss or you're like at a regret, and you're not. So if you feel like that with a certain family dynamic, something is actually working out better for you. You're in the Empress energy, so do not forget that part. You have the Empress energy and you have knowledge. But something would get you to, like, maybe even forgive people that are like bad to you and your family, or forgive, like, I don't know, like if there's a Cancer on here and you feel bad that you don't have children just yet, or you feel like you're at a loss or something like that, that has nothing to do with what you're fine. How else would this look on paper, Cancers? I'm also getting to something on paper, or the way that we're told, would be blaming you. Something would be centered around you. But intuitively, if we're talking about people, there's something with a Pisces, a Aries, a Gemini, and a Libra. Those are completely different people. Something's not all about you. How will we be viewing this on paper with you, Cancers? Let's see. Yeah, change. What is it really deep down? Yeah, see, five. Somebody's going to try to say that something was a repetitive cycle, or something's like a family tradition, or something was going well until you showed up, and then it was a change. That's basically what somebody's trying to say. So what is somebody trying to say you changed? What was it before? All right, pride. What was it after? Vision and superstition. Somebody's trying to say that like you changed the way they view something, or okay, what is it really underneath it all? Intuition. I cannot make it. That's what it is. Somebody's going to say, oh, Cancer, you did this, but somebody's just following their intuition, or you're following your intuition. There's no, somebody's intuitively just knows to do something. What what else does someone intuitively know to do here? It has nothing. It's odd. This is odd to explain. Yeah, something with you. I don't know what the fuck. That is weird. It's weird. Okay. We'll figure it out though. Like you are, I feel like you're the product of intuition. I hope that makes sense. It could be like your mom or your family. It's something you are. You're the result of the intuition. You didn't change anything. You didn't mess anything up. Maybe somebody's trying to say you did. Because it's like on paper, something looks bad with you, but it's not. That is what somebody was supposed to do. So it could be something, anything that's out of the ordinary that you're doing, or anything that's out of the ordinary about your family dynamic. That is what is supposed to happen. All right. That's y'all reading, Cancers. Those are major cards. All right, Aquarius is next. Let's see. Aquarius is next. You drink some tea. All right, let me timestamp it. It resonates? Okay, cool. Cool. Thanks for letting me know, y'all. I do appreciate when y'all tell me it resonates, because that helps me to keep doing, because general is a lot different than personal readings, because everybody is not the exact same. All right, Aquarius. Hey there, welcome. All right, so what is the center of the reading for Aquarius is? What's the center of the reading for my Aquarius is? Let's see. Okay, so innovation, creativity. Sometimes it could be manipulation. But if we're talking about innovation or manipulation, in this case, that is working. So what's being created here? Let's see. What is being created? Okay, peace. All right. All right. What role do you play here, Aquarius, in your reading? So we're finding a way for you not to notice something, or for you to be calm. All right. You could be finding a way to do this, or you're creating peace within your life or something like that. All right. What role do you play here, Aquarius, in your own reading today? Okay. All right. So you're in mood. Okay, Aquarius, is before I continue, I gotta give y'all a disclaimer, because Aquarius it's a few signs in this world that don't like to listen, and Aquarius is one of them. If I had to go out on the limb, I feel like the main ones that don't like to listen are air signs, because they're logical, and typically y'all may have the answer, but please, before I continue, Aquarius, please just listen. I can't. I'm not gonna argue with you. I'm just pulling the cards. All right, so mood. So I feel like with innovation and peace, if this is your energy, deep down you are annoyed with something, bothered, you could be triggered, you could be sad, but you may be trying to get yourself to be calm about it. All right, so what might you regret, or let's see, what might you regret, Aquarius? Let's see, what might you regret? Okay, so this is your card, Aquarius. This is you. This is you. I've been reading these cards for about 2 years. Don't argue with me in these comments. All right, so it's either you. It's either you. It could be another Aquarius if you're dealing with it. But so you do have knowledge. Okay, so I feel like you regret, you made a decision where you knew better possibly. What did you know already? You kind of already knew better, or you already know. All right, sexuality, ambition, versatility. So if these are people, there is something about a Gemini, Virgo, Cancer. All right, I feel like you already knew. It looks like a Cancer had already learned that lesson. There it is. All right, we're going to see. What energy should you be in here? Looks like you already knew better or something like that. What energy should you be in currently? Okay, so now you have courage. What do you need the courage to do, Aquarius? Transition. So you need the courage to either move on, relocate, maybe you need a new job, but I feel like this is about you change. This could be also about you changing the way that you think, leaving something behind and going on to a new thing. All right, so you need the courage to move on. Hold on, let me get the, we got a scammer here as usual. All right, so let's see. What's your current state here? Where are you currently? And then we'll see what you need to move on from. Let's see. All right, y'all. I'm just pulling the cards. This is what are you doing right now? Doing something out of love for people. All right, what do you need to transition to? Angel, I'm a Sagittarius. I don't know if a Sag gave you this advice. Some of you may have Sag placements. You may be a Sag rising or a Sag moon. All right, you guys. Sag, hustle, finesse, and luck. Sag had luck. All right, so stop doing, you're doing something out of love. I will be your true self. With Sagittarius energy, be your true self. You could be in a position where, like, if this is physical movement with transition and angel, if it's physical movement, that means it's okay for you to go travel or like relocate, or if you want to look for a new job, go ahead and do that. What are you currently doing out of love? You're changing something about yourself. What are you changing into? Or you be dealing with a Scorpio? Yeah, guidance. You're trying to fit in, or you're trying to listen to other people. That's not even, Aquariuses don't listen to nobody. So if you, I know you, I know you changing something. All right, what are you being guided to do? You're like trying to fit in, or yeah, respect and order. Why are you, that's not even like Aquarius is. All right, some of you, there's a couple ways this can go, right? If there's people involved out of love, thank you. Out of love, you are dealing either with like a Scorpio and a Taurus. I feel like too, you're listening to some sort of like, you're following maybe some sort of tradition with a Taurus energy here. All right, let's get 8 cards. Let's see. You said guilty. Oh, you're a Sag rising. I know a lot of Aquariuses with Sag placements. Like I knew one guy, I think he was a Sag moon, and I know 2 Aquariuses that are Sag risings. So just a little birth chart, info. And I did put this in my video that I did, so y'all can watch that. But the Sag rising, this could be something that you would rather do in public, right? If you're an Aquarius with a Sag rising, or if you're a Sag moon, you would rather stay home today, or you would rather be isolated or to yourself or something like that. Yeah, those are probably the main placements. You wouldn't probably have no Mercury in Sag. All right, let's get 8 cards here, Aquarius. So that is your reading. Currently, you are doing something out of love for somebody else. I feel like you're listening and following after some sort of traditions that you wouldn't normally do. I feel like, too, you knew better, and I feel like that's why you regret this. All right, so, or that's why your emotions are tampered with or bothered. So this could be the mood you're in. You could be ignoring your intuition. You could be ignoring something. All right, 4 of Cups. There's Gemini. I feel like you're ignoring, let me pull all the cards. Let me pull all the cards. Hold on. There you go, doing something out of love right there. There's a Hierophant, the Devil card, 4 of Pentacles. There's a Temperance. That's what you're supposed to be doing. All right. All right, here we go. So, right now, if there are people involved, right? There could be a Gemini involved and you're ignoring the way that a Gemini is treating a situation. You're not paying attention to what this Gemini is doing. It looks like it has something to do possibly with a Taurus and a Capricorn, all right? If these are people. Another thing I'm getting, literally, you are ignoring your thoughts. You're trying to focus on something else. I feel like you are ignoring current thoughts and you are focused on a memory. You're focused on how something is supposed to go in the past. All right. Here's the rule. This is what you're listening to. You're focusing on this type of energy here. Let's see. So what are you doing? Like, what are you focused on? A Taurus or something? Yeah, you're looking back at all. I feel like you're looking back at all the things you experience, all the time that you put into something. You could be looking at money investments or something like that. I feel like this looks like tradition to me. I feel like you're trying to follow a tradition. Okay. Out of love for who? All right, so the Tower could be another Aquarius. All right, or like I said, me saying that out of love for who? You can be like, oh shit, why am I doing that? Why am I doing that? Out of love for who? Exactly. So you're going to be in the Tower. It's going to probably change your perspective. Yeah, there's the Empress, there's the Star. That's you in a Cancer. So you may have it's like you have a Sag placement, Cancer placement. Like you're going to look at something different. Like you're going to start to observe that Cancer energy different. You're going to observe that differently. They're in the Empress today. They're in the Empress energy. You're observing that. Because I feel you're going to be like, wait, why am I doing that? Because you're observing either like a dynamic with you and a Cancer, this could be you and your mother, you and your daughter, you and a sibling. If this is your energy within yourself, say you have a Cancer placement, right? You're going to be like, oh shit, I created that myself. Why am I listening to somebody else? Why am I following after somebody else? Or why am I following that tradition when I already did this, that, and the third? Why am I following that? I feel like that's what you're going to think about, or that's how something might shift. I don't know if you're worried that somebody would withhold something from you if you end up in the Temperance energy. Maybe you're worried that somebody will not share with you or give something to you or pay you. Because maybe you feel like somebody will withhold something from you. You said, what do I think of the solar eclipse? I'll talk about that in a second. I could do solar eclipse readings and stuff. What else would you be doing in the Temperance? Because that's what you need to transition to. It's the way that you're doing. Okay, so you would be more observant. Page of Swords, you'd be more observant. You would, because this is what I'm getting, right? Right now, this is where you are. You're ignoring something. You're not looking at it. So I feel like in the Temperance, and what the difference would be, let's think about that. So remember, you guys came out as, this is what you regret, this is what you're ignoring. You already know, you already have information, you already know better, right? You're in a stagnant situation, or you're in something stagnant that you don't enjoy, that you don't like. You're doing this because you're following after literally these rules, right? You're following after the Hierophant. You're following after this, whatever these rules, regulations, this tradition is, that's what you're paying attention to. And you're ignoring your own thought process, or you're ignoring the fact that out of love, you're giving up independence, or you're giving up something that you don't need to give up. If you were in Sag energy, you would be a little more skeptical, or you would be more observant. Let's see what else you would observe here. I can't make it up. The Chariot. I just said that. I cannot. I cannot. So maybe you would focus on a Cancer more, or you would. I'm also getting too, if these are not people, you would see a clearer path forward, because remember, your energy is courage and transition. And the Chariot is also like, it's depicted as driving movement. You know, typically it's like the horse drawn carriage or whatever, but it's movement forward. And that's what you're supposed to transition into. You're supposed to move on and do something new. But if this is you would observe a Cancer. What is it? Okay, what else would you notice about this Cancer? Or what would you... Okay, they came out as the Three of Wands. They're waiting, or they're patient. The Temperance is patience as well. What are they waiting for, or what do they see here? Yeah, hustle. The Ten of Pentacles. All right. So somebody, there could be a Cancer that has like very high goals for themselves. That's what they're looking forward to. If this is about you thinking about literally like having the courage to move, you need to, there is a different city or a different area, or you can get a job in a different area that would do well for you. All right, so that's Aquarius's reading. I'm gonna leave it there. Again, if there are people, I feel like you would focus more on a Cancer or something like that. There could be something that you're ignoring dealing with a Cancer energy, or just movement forward. I feel like too, I'm getting heavy, like for the women there, it would be like a daughter or a it's like a woman, a significant woman around you. A daughter, a niece, a friend, you know, something like that. Or a Cancer sun, you know, if you have a son that's a Cancer. Thank you, Velvet Rose. Let me unplug that charger real quick. All right. Okay, so the readings got really clear after I did Sagittarius. Sagittarius, I was like, the fuck? All right, let's see. I don't know what the hell that meant. But now everything is very, makes sense. Okay, Pisces is next. Pisces is next. If you're watching me on TikTok, this is up on my YouTube, y'all. This is going to be timestamped. Thank you for watching, Prada Cats. So this is going to be up there time-stamped. So far, really quick, we did Gemini, Leo, Sag, Cancer, and Aquarius. And now we're going to do Pisces, Virgo, Taurus, Aries, Libra, Scorpio, Capricorn. All right, so that is the order we're going to do it in. All right, Pisces. Let's see. Yes, I did Sag, but I'm not going to lie. That joint was all over the place. And then I told myself, I said, I'm going to know what this means later. And the next reading had the High Priestess. I don't know. I don't know the signs behind it all the time, y'all. I just pull the cards. All right, Pisces. All right, what's the scenario for my Pisces here? What's the scenario for my Pisces? Okay, emotions. All right, you guys are water signs, so it's a lot of emotions. Let's see. So what is triggering emotions here? What's got people are, hopefully it's not an emotional outburst. Okay, connectivity. There's a mindset. There's mood. Okay. So this could be Aquarius coming out here. I feel like somebody is trying not to think about something, so they ignore it. That could be what this is as well. What role do you play here, Pisces? Voice. Okay, so you're speaking on this. What are you talking about? What are you saying here? Okay, you've got luck, finesse, there's intuition, and skill. Okay, so you're saying eventually that's not going to work because somebody is intuitive. Eventually, yeah, perspective of Aquarius and not... Okay, so we know here, literally, Aquarius, you know better. You're ignoring something. There's an Aquarius here. Could be a Libra involved with skill. So you're saying, yeah, eventually, like at that time, you know, that's not really going to work. Finesse. You could be saying, you know how people say, like, in time, all things come to light, or like eventually, you know, what happens in the dark comes to light. This could be something that you're talking about. Let's see what finesse is. What is somebody's intentions? Okay, so we got transition. There's pride. What's actually going to occur here? So remember, if we're talking about, like, maybe you know in Aquarius you got Aquarius placements, but we're talking about an Aquarius, their advice is transition. That doesn't mean they're going to do it. So when I do these readings and I say, hey, like, you know, here's your advice, that does not mean that people are actually going to do that, right? So that could be what we're talking about. Like, maybe it's like, oh, you know, she's intending on getting them to transition, but they may not listen. But anyway, the goal is to transition, or the purpose is to transition. What's actually going to occur? Okay, fight. There could be there's a lot of emotions going on here. There's going to be a conflict, an argument. If somebody is supposed to change their focus or change what they're doing, they're going to either be internally conflicted or they'll get distracted. All right, so there is something about a conflict. Okay, what is the conflict going to be about? What is the distraction here? We're going to figure out, you know, we're going to get cards too. All right, we got ambition, versatility, courage, and ambition again. So somebody has the courage to be working on something. Somebody is very steady. They're very focused. They're building something up. Cancer did come out as versatility, so this could be about a Cancer. All right, so let's see. There's going to be some type of conflict or internal conflict. Somebody may fight with somebody because somebody is working. They don't want that woman to work, or they don't want that person to work or something. That may be what it is. All right, let's see. But you're telling somebody, like, straight up, like, you know, eventually that's not going to, that's not going to work. All right, you got 10 of Pentacles, 9 of Pentacles, Page of Pentacles. All right, so this was part of what we said about looking at something at the, like, at face value. I feel like this has something to do with relatives. All right. 3 of Wands. There's a Strength card, 6 of Cups, the 7 of Wands, and then the Knight of Swords. So the center of this reading, somebody is trying to be generous or kind, but that is being rejected. That is why. If there's a Leo, and I feel like that, well, there must be a Leo involved with the Strength card. If you don't know a Leo, this can be somebody repetitively just trying to be generous or nice, and it keeps getting rejected. It keeps getting blocked out. What is stopping this here with the 7 of Wands? The fact that something is already over. You're talking about voice and luck. So you're saying something is too late, or that's not going to work. So what's over here? You're saying that. You're like, yeah, no, that's over. That those days are over. That's too late. That's not going to work. The 10 of Wands, Leo. So Leo was the 10 of Wands. What the fuck? Or like putting in a whole bunch of like struggle or work or something like that. That's not going to work. Okay. What's going to be the new cycle? We're going to see where you are with voice. You might be the Page of Pentacles here. So now somebody's going to learn. They're going to get more information. They're going to be the 3 of Pentacles. So if something was difficult, they were struggling with something, they're like, let me find a better solution. Let me get some more information on this. Okay. There's a 3 of Cups, 4 of Wands, and then a 9 of Wands. Okay, so literally what okay, these are tied together. So let me just slow down. So remember in the Leo reading, I was talking about how somebody got an incorrect reading, or if they're trying to read the cards themselves, they don't understand how to. And I gave an example of how I learned to read the cards. I literally said word for word that I pulled the 3 of Cups, 4 of Wands, and there were wedding proposals that day. So that's why I equate this to a wedding, right? So in this case, it's like, okay, Leo took that advice. Or somebody, if you have a Leo placement, you took that advice, Pisces. If we're talking about, we take people's signs out of it, right? Something difficult, there was a lot of baggage or taking on difficulties. Somebody's like, I'm not doing all of that without a contract. I'm not doing all of that unless something is rewarded at the end. Do I get a celebration? Do I get a reward at the end? Is something going to be written in stone? I'm not going to be doing all this work or putting in all this energy if I don't get something at the end of this. That is what's going on here. So the days of somebody doing something difficult is over. They're going to get more. They're either going to find out an easier way to do it. I'm also getting too, if somebody was building something up on their own and it was very difficult for them to handle, they're like, I'm not doing this alone anymore. I'm about to go find, somebody to work with. I'm going to find somebody to help me with this, do my research, who can teach me, who can work with me, a business partner, or something like that. Like, that is what's going on. All right, so where are you at in voice real quick, Pisces? This is what's being discussed. All right, so you're the Hierophant. Yeah, literally. You're reminding somebody like, hey, like, something's going to shift, or that eventually that's going to change. You know how that's going to go. this is what you're saying to somebody. You're like, eventually so and so is not going to keep doing all that by themselves. Eventually. So where's the emotional part? What's the emotions about here? Let's see. Yeah, there's the confusion. So the Seven of Cups. What is making somebody emotional in this scenario? It could be what you're saying or what you're explaining. Yeah, somebody is trying not to. This is the thing. Somebody's trying to hold back from what they're supposed to do, the transition part. That's just it. So I don't know if you're dealing with an Aquarius, you have Aquarius placements, or somebody like that could be around you. It's like it's basically like I'm giving the advice, but nobody wants to listen to it, or somebody's giving this person the advice, but they want to resist it. They don't want to do that. They don't want to transfer over. That's what's triggering somebody's emotions here. All right, I don't know where you're going to be at in this reading. It looks like this has something to do with people around you, family members. It could be coworkers because we're pulling out ambition. So, like, say this is at work. Somebody's like, look, I've been doing all this work by myself. Like, give me somebody else on my team. Give me something, or am I going to get a promotion? Can I get my job duties written down on a contract for what I'm doing so I can get paid? So it's something like that. It could also be like somebody has a difficult job, so they want to go back to school, something along those lines. All right, let's see. What other energy should you be in, Pisces? Yeah, so you're looking back at all. It's like you're dead ass. You're like, no, that happened last time. Or don't you see this repeating cycle? Or don't you see that this is going to occur again? Or like you're going to look back at all the times when what? Let's see. You got Justice and the Empress, Libra, Cancer energy. There's the Eight of Pentacles. Somebody has the courage to work on something. So you're looking at that. You're like, yeah, all that time somebody spent working or building on something. And I don't know what that has to do with this. But it's like this person, this Libra Cancer energy, somebody has worked up and built something up and they've been building it consistently. And that's what you're talking about. There's the Eight of Pentacles, Knight of Pentacles. If you're looking at this for yourself, right, you're going to realize like there was a lot of time that you spent where you're like, okay, let me focus my time on this. I can spend time building this up. I feel like that's what's going on. I mean, it looks like there's a lot of people here. So what's going to be the outcome for you, Pisces? And then we'll do Virgo. Yeah, you got the Knight of Wands. There's the Six of Wands. There's the Hermit. So there's the knowledge. There's the wisdom. Looks like somebody is doing something solo. All right, we do see them successful. I feel like too, somebody has internal success. This is not about external validation for them, the way that this looks. All right. Now we're going to see what Virgo's reading says next because the Hermit is Virgo. So it might have something to do with them as well. All right. Pisces seems like they typically have a lot of people in their readings. Y'all let me know what y'all think about that. Because every time I read Pisces, I feel like it's a lot of people or something. Maybe because y'all are the last sign. But I did do Gemini. I did Gemini first at 5 minutes. It's up on my YouTube. All right, let's see. Virgos. Virgos. Let's see. Let's see. You said people are drawn to you. All right, let's see. Virgos. Ooh. What is the center of the reading for the Virgos here? Let's see. What's the center of the reading for the Virgos? Okay, resistance. What is being resisted in this reading? Perspective. Okay. You guys, perspective, spirituality, and confidence. All right. So somebody does not, they may not want to believe in something. There's a certain spiritual belief or whatever. They do not want to view it that way. They don't want to believe in that. They don't want to agree with that. There could literally be, if you read your own cards, it could literally be a perspective on what we view as the Nine of Pentacles or something like that. Or how somebody reads the cards. All right, so you got love and healing. All right, let's see. What role do you play here, Virgos? You are mystery, so you're hiding. Whenever I get mystery, I'm not going to say what it is, so I will just read it for the purpose of reading. So it might be a little vague, but what are you hiding here, Virgos, for yourself? Or you're keeping something to yourself? Okay. All right, so what energy should you be in, Virgos? You got leadership and rebellion. What do you need to lead someone to do? Or you're going to have to be the first person to do something. Okay. You got spirituality, self-esteem, and then what else? And then peace. Let me get one more. And then tenacity or focus. All right. Their style. So literally I told Aquarius to focus on a Cancer. But we're going to clarify. I'm also getting to, if you're leading somebody with spirituality and self-esteem, they may be the only one that believes in something or thinks of something or something like that. All right, so let's see. Let's get 8 cards. Thank you. Okay, 6 of Cups, 4 of Wands. There's the High Priestess. There's intuition. The Knight of Swords, 9 of Swords, Page of Pentacles, the Knight of Cups, and then the 7 of Cups. You may be mystery with the 7 of Cups. I'm not going to lie, but we'll clarify. You may be confused about something. All right, so there is an intuitive message when we're around women and children. All right, I'm also getting to, there's something about being sympathetic, or there's a memory. Somebody's going off of memories here. All right, what is intuition is the center of this. I will say this, y'all. Spirituality is different than your intuition. I've said that a million times, so sorry to the people that watch me and you heard me say that before. Thank you, Positive Life, for the bear. Please, I always tell people spiritual belief systems can also always be different than your intuition. All right, like when we're out in public, I'm not walking around with cards all day to make every decision, right? I don't have to sit down with cards and make every single decision in my life. You do want to sit and get clarity and calm yourself down and things like that so that you can kind of see things for what they are for yourselves. Also, the way this is, intuition is in the place of the pentacles, right? So pentacles is something tangible, right? It's something we can touch, right? I know that just because, like, something tangible doesn't have to be really what it is, right? Like, say this desk is plastic, but it looks like wood. Tangibly, it looks like wood if I'm looking at it, right? But if it's fake and it's not real and it's plastic, my intuition is like, wait, this is flimsy. Something's not stable about this. That's the difference. And I hope that's a good example. But this is about like not taking something at face value. All right, so let's just clarify really quick. Let's see where you are in mystery. You may be 7 of Cups, but let's see where you are in mystery, Virgos. Okay, so, all right, well, I don't want to... I'm not going to... Okay. All right, what is intuition telling us here? 10 of Pentacles, the Devil card, the 7 of Swords. Yeah, the Queen of Wands. So somebody already knows that there is an intention to steal something, copy something, or there is an intention with a family member here. We're going to clarify what that is. What is intuition telling us? The Cancer energy, it came back out again. Versatility. I just said that. I said that Cancer already learned their lesson. They're comfortable. They already know how to do something. If anybody's wondering, a Cancer may be pregnant. I do want to throw that out there. But literally, we just said that, or a Cancer has learned their lesson. They have incorporated something. They're in a comfortable state. We already know that, okay? We know that. Like I said, intuition will lead to the Chariot. So what is something trying to, because something looks like it's manipulation. So something looks like it's, so I'll give y'all a great example of this. I'm going to give y'all a really, really good example. And I have to use my own personal life for this. That might be what the Sag reading was telling us. But for me, right, I have a daughter. As soon as I got pregnant with my daughter, I said, no, I'm just going to raise her myself. Because I already know it's going to be a lot of drama, so on and so forth. Fast forward, it would have been a terrible situation for my child to grow up in. That's intuition. Spirituality would have told me that I needed to marry that man, or I needed to at least co-parent with him, or that's what spirituality, or that's what the status quo would have told me. But if we would have did that, it would have been terrible. My daughter got the chance to live in a very peaceful, sometimes I'm not perfect, but she got to live in a very more, like a much more peaceful environment, a much more like better environment that catered to the needs that she needed, right? So that is an example of something being intuition and not being what everybody else wants you to do, or not being what spirituality would advise you of, right? Or like some sort of like religion, like a religious belief system, things like that. So that's just an example. But let's see what else. What would somebody be manipulated into doing? I want to pull some of these cards real quick, because I want to see if spirituality might come back out. All right, so what might manipulate somebody into not following their intuition? Could be a person, or, something. Oh. Maybe you, Virgo. You come out as ambition. You do real work. Maybe it's you. All right, but anyway, what would somebody's if somebody didn't follow their intuition, what would they do instead here? It could be somebody's job. Yeah, okay, let me see. Knowledge, guidance, humor, and versatility. Let's see. That's funny. All right, what was somebody's intuition? I'm sorry, what if somebody was manipulated into not following their intuition, what would they be doing instead? All right, the Six of Pentacles. They may put money into something, spend money. Okay, what would they be putting money into? They would be putting more money into something than someone else. They would pay for something, or they would put more time, energy, and effort into something. So what would they be investing in or putting their money into? Or maybe they would be giving somebody money. The Nine of Pentacles. Okay, that's what I'm saying. Perspective on that card. So if somebody's not following their intuition, they will put money into this. I need to figure out what that is. I'm going to have to study that, y'all. So yeah, the perspective on how you view the Nine of Pentacles and spirituality. Because what would be the result of that? Somebody would be spending money on maybe like a home, or like they would be spending money on like material items that they may not need. Let's see what else. What would be the result of that? This is somebody not following their intuition. So this is how we're told to read the Nine of Pentacles. So the result will be judgment, justice, and the Three of Wands, possibly waiting, and then there's a backfiring, so something may get blocked out. Okay, what are we doing when we're following our intuition? We know it's Cancer energy, but what are we doing when we're following our intuition? And then we'll see what the result is. Yeah, going somewhere, like going in a completely different direction too. So somebody would just be making another action. I feel like too, something is not supposed to cost money. Yeah, the Two of Wands, Death card, and the Four of Swords. So we would just let something go. We would stop it, or we would stop doing it. We would let something kind of die off. What would be, this could be something dealing with a Scorpio as well. What would be the outcome over here? We would let something die off. But what would be the outcome when we're following our intuition? Okay, it would be like a completely different perspective. Nine of Wands, Knight of Wands, and then the Hangman. We would grow and learn something. Yeah, there's the Tower. So there would be a new perspective here. You're the Hermit typically, Virgo, so you may be dealing with a Leo here. All right, let's see. What other energy should you be in, Virgos? Hi, the readings are $33 and it's a 30-minute YouTube video, but it is unlisted, so nobody will see it. All right, what energy should you be in, Virgos, for yourself? The Empress. So I was just a similar thing to Cancer. All right, I feel like if you've created something, protect it, because you do have the Emperor here. You got the Empress and the Emperor. So go ahead and protect something that you've already created for yourself. Yeah, you may have Cancer placements. You may have a Cancer moon, Cancer rising. All right, y'all. That was Virgo. Let me make a note, because I want to figure out what the Nine of Pentacles is. I'm going to study that for a little bit. Because that looked like you would be spending money on something that you don't really need, but intuitively you know not to spend money on that anymore. Like you're just going to stop. But the Nine of Pentacles typically is supposed to be something good, but that's interesting. All right, we're supposed to represent, I guess, like independence or having your own resources. We'll figure it out. I'll figure it out off camera. That's why I like tarot, guys, because I'm always learning things. It's always going to be something new. All right, we got Taurus next. All right, what is the situation surrounding the Tauruses? Let's see, what situation surrounding my Tauruses? Resistance, a lot of resistance. What's being resisted in your reading, Taurus? Peace. All right, somebody does not want to go to sleep. They don't want to rest. They don't want something to be calm. Somebody could be like literally like fighting their sleep or something like that. They don't want to be calm or rest. All right, what's your energy here, Taurus? All right, style. So you're coming out in Cancer energy. You're moving forward with something. That Cancer reading might apply to you, or you might have Cancer placements. Also, I'm getting like you're with a Cancer, talking to them. Something like that, something along those lines. All right, what other energy should you be in here, Taurus? Okay, order. So there is a need to get something organized or plan it. All right, what do you need to plan here? You need to get something organized. Okay, you're going to have to plan for when it looks like a Leo. Who is this, Taurus? Okay, you're going to have to plan for something dealing with a Leo. They're going to want something from you. All right, what does the Leo want here? If these are people right now, you were the Cancer, damn, Leo again. Strength, power. Oh, shit. Okay. Strength, power, love, and determination. The Leo is not playing around, so... Okay, yeah, so it might be a Leo that's resisting the peace. They're not going to keep quiet about something. You're going to have to plan for this. It might be an argument with power. All right, but let's get 8 cards real quick. Hi, y'all. Ooh. I just finished Virgo. You can go back to an hour and 35 minutes. All right, let's get 8 cards. Let's see. There you go. That's the 3rd time I pulled it, the Strength card. If it's not a Leo involved, of course, that's somebody's like ego, things like that. All right, so a Leo, they want to talk to... So you're... Okay, let me slow down. Let me slow down. Let me pull all the cards. Yeah, the Leo is going to nicely say, hey, I've been dealing with all this, that, and the third. Or if you plan to ask this Leo to take on extra work or something like that, I feel like a Leo is trying to find a nice way to say that they're dealing with a lot here. It's a lot of struggle. All right, so they're trying to make a decision to save money. Yeah, Cancer and Justice. So a Leo is going to try their best to like save money when dealing with you or a Cancer. They don't want to spend money on something. They're like, hey, you know, I want to really save money on this, blah, blah, blah. All right, Justice being involved with Cancer energy. This can be court dealings, courts, cops, things like that. They're going to say it in a nice manner because they are dealing with a lot. So they're like, this is too much. I don't really want to do all of this. All right. What are they trying to hold on to here? I don't know. That might have something to do with an Aquarius because they're coming back out too. And Aquarius is Leo's opposite sign. Let's see. All right. What's going to be the result here with Justice? Because you're in the Chariot position. You're kind of moving forward here. What's the result for you, Taurus? All right. So you get a new start. You're free from something. You have the Fool card. All right, so if this is you, if you're in the Chariot position, meaning like something's going forward smoothly, you might have to restart something when this individual kind of admits like, hey, like it's too much. I don't feel like doing all this, blah, they skip. All right, so you might have to start something over with the Fool. All right. What else will be a new cycle for you? And then we're going to do Aries next because this looks pretty simple. All right, so you got a new cycle with the Temperance, the Six of Pentacles, and the Wheel of Fortune. All right, so this new cycle looks like a Sag is receiving something now, but you may have Sag placements. So you may be a Sag moon or a Sag rising. It looks like a Sag, your energy is going, you're going to receive something here. All right, so you're going to receive either money, finances, or you're going to receive, I don't know, more time to do something, or you're going to receive another opportunity to do something. All right, could be a Sag, I don't know. If there's courts involved, it could be a scenario where somebody has to pay a lawyer. I'm getting like paying lawyer fees, judge, like pay the judge, or I don't even pay the judge, but you pay lawyer fees or something like that. I'm getting a lot of the reason I'm picking up court energy, Libra is like the justice system. The Chariot can be like cops, authoritative figures. And then the Temperance is, that's kind of hard to explain how to look at the Temperance. The Temperance is not the justice system. It could be the people within the justice system. Sagittarius energy would be like the lawyers themselves, the judges, that kind of energy. But the justice system would be a whole system, which is Libra. So hopefully I explained that correctly. But yeah. So let's see. What else is a new cycle for you, Taurus? Why are you... Okay, wait, what? Why are you emotions? Hold on, what is this then? Because like I said, you are able to move forward with something, but you're going to have to start over. So that might be what bothers you. But what triggered your emotions here? Oh, it has something to do with a Sagittarius? Passion, mystery, and Sagittarius. Knowledge and self-love. Okay, so Sag came out like that. They had self-love. So you're triggered by this Sag receiving something? Well, okay, what? So you must know, maybe you know, what's the mystery? Are you confused or you don't want, you know what else this could be too? There's a couple of ways this could go. I feel like, I don't know if it's Sag, this looks like a court order or something. So what does the Sag have to do with you, Taurus? What is the Sagittarius doing? They're changing. What was going on before? Okay, connectivity. They were trapped or stuck. All right, what are they changing into? They had a trap mindset. Luck. I don't know. They're receiving something. They're getting an opportunity or something is going their way. At first, they had a trap mindset, but they're looking at different opportunities, or they could be using their time more wisely. So, what is their luck then? What's working out for them right now? Or they're right on schedule, or they're right on time, or they're using their time to like more wise or something like that. So, what is their luck? Or something goes their way. Guidance, ambition, resistance, and rebellion. All right, so they could be working really hard on something. Maybe they're building up on something and they're getting compensated for or something. So what was their trap mindset? What were they thinking before? Sexuality, superstition, and humor. I said that about, okay, so this is the thing. There could be a mindset around like relaxation, you know, chilling, whatever, taking time off. But right now, somebody really wants to work. They're not going off of a schedule. Something may work well for them because they do something on a set schedule, or they do something every day, or they're consistent with it. So why are you're emotional about that? So what's your energy and emotion? Maybe they used to date you, or so this would be like, say this is your friend or your girlfriend or your boyfriend or something like that, and they're working a lot. So what? Okay, what are you doing in emotions? Maybe you're maybe you're happy for somebody. Maybe this is your energy. You could all, if you have a Sag placement, you're about to receive stuff for working. All right, like if you're a Sag rising, Sag moon. So what is your energy and emotions? Okay, you're controlling your emotions while you're watching it. I just don't understand why, what that has to do with you, I guess. I don't know what that... Sorry, what does this Sag have to do with you? Virgo was back at 1 hour and 35 minutes. It's on YouTube. So, okay, what does this Sag have to do with you? Why is that making you emotional? Resilience, there you go with respect, and then finesse and power. Maybe you try to have control over a scenario. What was your intentions, or what's your intentions with finesse? Your intended outcome. The 2 of Cups. What actually occurs here? You wanted something to be... You may have wanted somebody to agree with you or go your way. Yeah, the 7 of Cups. It's like confusion now all of a sudden. I don't know what that has to do with you. I feel like you thought that something was going to be work out or go in your favor, but now there's confusion. All right, I'm going to move on from y'all reading. What energy should you be in, Taurus? Pisces was at 82:30, so 1 hour and what, 22 minutes? All right, so you should be in innovation. You have enough tools to create something. What are you able to create, Tauruses? Okay, you've got love, superstition, and order. I did say that you need to plan something. You need to get things in order. So I feel like you need to plan ahead for something, because it looks like you're going to be in a new cycle where you're going to have to start something over. I don't know what that has to do with a Sagittarius at all. It looks like there could be, if there's any court orders, you may have to, you know, focus on that or get that in order. Or like if you're with a Cancer, I feel like you're about to transfer over. You're going to be with a Leo. You have to spend time with that Leo or something like that. It's not... All right, what's the outcome for you? You got rebellion and sexuality. What else should you do in order with the Fool card? So you have all the tools you need to like create something, get it organized. You got the 3 of Cups, 4 of Swords, 8 of Wands, and then the King of Wands. All right, yeah. So just, I'm getting like organize something in your home, get things ready, plan for whatever's shifting here. You got Sag energy again. All right, what's the outcome for you, Tauruses? Okay, got the Empress. That was Cancer. Three of Swords, Five of Swords. Somebody's gonna be like hating on the Cancer or something like that you're with. All right. I'll leave it there. Okay, let's see. The readings is all over the place today. Taurus is next. Let's see. The weekends are odd. I don't know if it's because people be out on the weekends. It just be some kind of crazy energy. All right, so let's see. Aries is up next. Aries might have a weird reading too. Scorpio is second to last, so we didn't do Scorpio yet. The people that are left, we got Aries, Libra, Scorpio, and Capricorn left. All right, so that's what we got left. All right, Aries. All right, what is the center of the reading for my Aries? Let's see, what's the center of the reading for the Aries here? Okay, style. Now, Taurus just came out as style. All right, so today it could be about a Taurus. It can also be about a Cancer. All right, so let's see. What role is this? You said that's probably what it is, picking up other energies that be around. That's what I think, because it be, I don't know, Saturdays be rough. Sundays be, I guess, maybe calmer because people is at home or something. All right, what role do you play here, Aries? Your innovation. So you're able to create something or you are manipulating something. All right, you're able to create something. You got all the tools to do it. What are you able to create here, Aries? All right, passion and strength. Could be something dealing with a Leo. Yeah, and power. You're able to kind of get that Leo, like you're able to inspire that Leo to... It looks like they're going to be making the Taurus feel emotional. You're inspiring that Leo to do something. That's what you're doing. All right, what other energy should you be in here? You should be concerned. Superstition. All right. You said Scorpios always last because y'all need better time management. Yeah, I don't know. Y'all do be last. All right, so you should be concerned about something, or you should really think about something. You're inspiring a Leo to yell, or you're inspiring a Leo to get upset. It looks like you want that Leo to trigger a Taurus's emotions, or you're trying to, like, whatever the Leo is going to do, it is going to trigger people's emotions or something like that. What should you think about or be concerned about here, Aries? Should actually be concerned about something. Okay, change. All right, so whatever you're inspiring or whatever you're conspiring and getting it to occur, the result will change, or that result will change how things are going. If this is a person, maybe you need to be concerned about a Scorpio. They rule change. So what's occurring currently, or what is the situation before the change? There's transition. A lot of Scorpio energy maybe. Okay, what does this turn into? Humor. So if you want to trigger somebody emotionally, I don't know if they're going to actually be upset. They may actually laugh about this. I feel like, too, somebody is supposed to leave and they don't. They're going to stay. What? Where? All right, I don't know. All right. What? I'm going to break yours down a little differently. Let's see. So what are you doing in innovation, Aries? So... if you think somebody's going to stay, or I mean, if you think somebody's leaving, they're going to stay in the neighborhood, or they're going to stay around the family, or if you think something's going to make somebody like want to leave, they don't, they enjoy it. What the? Okay, there's our priestess. All right, so. All right, let's see. What are you doing in innovation, Aries? You're in the 10. So remember, we talked about the Leo being in the 10 of Wands. We talked about them taking on a lot of baggage. In your last reading, you were the 10 of Wands. Like, something could have been difficult for you. All right, so, okay. Okay, yeah, there's the Leo. That's, yeah. Okay, so what is the result that you're creating with this really quick? Let's see. So what is the result you're creating? Okay, looks like you're creating some sort of imbalance a little bit with the Two of Pentacles. All right, you're literally, you're switching something, you're swapping something. Like the way something was supposed to go, you're swapping it. So that could be why you need to be concerned that something is going to change back to what it was. Let's see what else. What's this? What's this? Yeah, there's the inspiration. All right, so when the inspiration happens, they are going to look back at something, though. What are they going to examine here? So if you're getting somebody upset, they're going to take a look at something. They're going to look at something deeper, first of all. That's why change is here. That's why change is here. So you're inspiring them, but I feel like somebody's going to take a step back and like be like, wait, hold on. All right, so what energy should you be in superstition? Because that's like being concerned or looking into something a little deeper. There's style. There's the Cancer. You need to look into the Cancer first. So, because they're coming out as the Empress. If you're trying to manipulate somebody, the Empress has already learned that lesson. So that may not work. Or if you're trying to get something to go a certain way, that may not work. Let's see, because something's going to change or shift up. What was supposed to occur with transition? Yeah, somebody's supposed to be confused. The Seven of Cups, or like I said, if somebody is literally supposed to leave or something like that, they're supposed to start looking into other options, and it's like somebody's supposed to be confused. What actually occurs with humor? The readings guy, I don't know what the fuck. All right, somebody's supposed to get emotional or confused. Yeah, they end up laughing about it. Somebody's going to think something is funny. I don't know what this is, but like whatever you're trying to do, it doesn't confuse somebody or they don't just move on from it. They're going to think it's funny. I don't know. Okay, so what's funny about it? This is weird. Let's see. What's funny or what's laughable or... Who is this? Aries? So now there's something with a Capricorn and a Leo, and there's going to be something where we're talking about, okay, first of all, there looks like a divorce. I don't know what this, it's like somebody's going to be happy to be separated, happy to be divorced. Somebody may get alimony, child support. Somebody's going to separate something. What is this? What is somebody going to find funny or ironic? It has something to do with a Capricorn and a Leo, or it has something to do with, because remember, you're trying to get that Leo to do something in particular, the Strength card. So something either works out in that Leo's favor when you get them to do this, or... All right, what's ironic or what's funny about this? It's almost like somebody going to laugh at the person. Like, say you're trying to get somebody to yell, right? Or, or like maybe you're trying to yell at somebody. It like makes somebody laugh at them or something. Like, it doesn't have the same effect. So what's supposed to be funny here? Okay, Taurus and finesse. I don't know what this is tied to. They're all tied together. Something you're able to do. I don't know if you're dealing with a Taurus and they're trying to trick something, change something, whatever. Let me see, because this is crazy. These readings are so weird. Let's see. Oh, you say it's not confusing? Thank y'all. I like when y'all tell me, because I'll be like, what? I guess because it's not my life and I'm not in it. I can't see it. All right, let's see. So what's funny about this? What's the respect card and finesse? So there's the Eight of Swords. This has to do with them. Okay, so now the mindset is about to shift or change. Something that's going on does not work because somebody's mind changes. That's what changes. It's the way we view something. Because it goes from the Eight of Swords, the Lovers, to the Ten of Swords. So the way that we were constantly viewing something, or the way that we were constantly thinking about something, or the way that somebody kept going about making certain decisions, they're not going to do that anymore. Could have to deal with a Gemini. All right, so let's see. So this has to deal with a perspective. A perspective on what, or how we viewed what, really quick. Okay, possibly an Aquarius or inspiration. Like I said, you're able to get somebody inspired. So somebody may be tempted to do something, but they may not go do it. Like something that you're doing, if you are inspiring somebody, they're still able to like resist that or hold back on temptation or something like that. How is somebody viewing this previously? Okay, focus, tenacity. How are they going to view this after? Luck. Luck, pride, and love. So somebody, the way that something is going for someone, they don't have to do something out of emotion. They don't have to do something out of love for another individual. And it has to deal with their mindset. What were they thinking before? And then it looks like they realize, like, wait, I don't... Yeah, it has to deal with the Hierophant. It's either with a Taurus or there is with... Pisces did come out as this with voice. So either a Pisces, a Taurus, or somebody views something as like law, regulation, tradition. They felt like it was something that they had to do. I feel like too, somebody's like, okay, if I make a different decision, I'll be ashamed or I'll feel regret. That's why the thing is humor. Let's see what else. What ends up happening with luck, pride, and love real quick. Yeah, the Ace of Swords. They just, yeah, the Magician. They're going to have a new perspective either on you. This could be you. This could be you, but you are supposed to be concerned. So I feel like this is a new perspective on what it means to be the Magician. So it's like you can create something, you can manipulate something, and it could work for a while, or you have all the tools to make something work, but then it might change. Three of Cups. So whatever you're able to create right now, just know that it might shift up or you might have to edit something. I'll give you an example, right? So like I did a personal reading for myself and I knew I came out as the Magician. I was like, okay, cool. I got all the tools to make it work, blah, blah. But then the advice was changed. That meant that I had to adjust something. So like you're doing something correctly, you're able to get it to work, but I feel like the effects of it or the outcome is temporary or it needs alterations or it's just not going to be a permanent outcome. All right, so what else is the outcome for you here? I'm also getting too, if you have a Cancer around you because they came out as the Empress today, it'd be a Cancer or a Taurus. But I would get more information on something. I would talk to this person. All right, ask questions. All right, what's the outcome here for you, Aries? Humor. Yeah, emotions. If you're if you're trying to make somebody emotional or like sad, they're going to laugh. They're going to laugh or or something is just ironic. Literally, that is the outcome. If you want somebody to get angry or something like that, somebody's going to enjoy themselves, laugh. I'm not even going to hold you. They may laugh at you. I don't know. I don't know what it is, but that's your reading, Aries. As I let you know. All right, Libra is next, and we got Scorpio and Capricorn. All right, Libra is next. If anybody wants personal readings, y'all know where to get them at the link. All right, so let's see. You say you're the one laughing. All right, so let's see. Scorpio. I'm sorry, Libra. What is the center of the reading for the Libras? Let's see. What is the center of the reading for the Libras here? All right, leadership. Okay, so who is the leader in your reading here? I think Virgo had that advice as well. Okay, so personality. So it looks like somebody's putting themselves out there. They could be very vocal, out loud, whatever. Personality and leaderships could be like an entrepreneur or somebody. What are they leading people to do? All right, luck. Somebody's like, hey, focus on this opportunity, focus on this time, focus on time, or use your time wisely. But they're like, yeah, this is a good idea, blah, blah, blah. All right, what role do you play here, Libras? Of course, this could be you. Okay, so your passion. So you desire a certain thing, you're currently inspired, or you desire something as a specific outcome. All right, what do you desire here, Libras? Okay, you got intuition and truth. You just want somebody to intuitively know the truth. You want somebody to follow their intuition, or you may want your intuition to be clearer. All right. So truth about what? You either want somebody to intuitively know the truth, or you want your intuition to kick in. All right, so truth about what here? Okay, luck. All right, so the truth about time or an opportunity. This could be astrology transits. Okay, so what's the truth about luck here? Or just maybe somebody has like something easy to do. Okay, ambition, connectivity, and leadership. So, of course, I mean, if somebody's leadership, they would have to have somebody working for them. That could be luck. That's how that goes. Or like, whatever position you're in. We could be talking about like the wheel. Like if you're at the top of the wheel, something's working out for you. Of course, like everybody cannot be at the top at the same time. That could be what you're talking about. I feel like too, the connection between ambition and leadership. So it's like if somebody wanted to be in a certain position at a certain time, they have to put in a lot of time for it. They have to work up to build that up. That is that direct connection. It's whether or not you're ambitious or whether or not you want to put the energy into it. Okay, what other energy should you be in, Libras, for yourself? Okay, so you have courage. What do you need the courage to do here, Libras? Okay, knowledge. So it looks like you already have like some information and you're not applying it yet. Like maybe even if you have, even if you feel like, damn, should I go back to school or something like that? You should. That's about getting more information. Thank you, Michael. All right, so what do you have knowledge about here? You got guidance, versatility, finesse, and tenacity. Okay, we got healing. You might know about some sort of shortcut or something like that to get people to focus. I feel like too there is information that you have about women. So maybe you're good at doing nails, hair, makeup. All right, so let's see what else. You desire for somebody to intuitively know the truth. All right, leadership and luck. What is the truth about luck? Looks like ambition is directly connected to leadership. This could also be like if you're talking about like a relationship between people at work. These people are connected, they're related. It could be about like, oh yeah, when you network, blah blah blah. Or like, somebody's nepotism or something like that. But let's see. So how do I want to read this really quick? Who's the leadership and personality? This could be you, of course. Like a certain desire. Leadership and personality is coming out as the Three of Swords. Let's see. So somebody's coming out as a liar, or they're coming out as not sharing information. They could either just be leaving out info or whatever. So what part of somebody's personality with the Three of Swords? Transition and self-esteem. Oh, and fight. What happened? What? So somebody starts to become... So the person in charge, somebody starts to become insecure. They start fighting with people. Or they starting a competition. Hold on. What is this? What's wrong with this? What's making somebody feel insecure? something on paper about a Sagittarius and a Taurus and an Aquarius. Okay. There's something, the way something looks on paper. So that's why we're talking about intuition. You want somebody to know the truth. Something makes somebody feel insecure because of the relationship that there is between two people, or what we're looking at between, if we're talking about people, it's a Sag, Taurus, and an Aquarius. And when we look at that, it's like, say somebody is comparing themselves to somebody else. Like, I'm a Sag. Say I'm looking at this Taurus and I'm comparing myself to that Taurus and I feel insecure. This is the thing that somebody wants. This is what you want somebody to understand. Like, you shouldn't compare, or you shouldn't be. Okay, so this person starts to be the Three of Swords. They're disappointed or heartbroken, or... All right, so what do we look... This is why somebody's like, okay, you need to know why something went that way. So the way something looks on paper is not why it went that way. Okay, what... how do I want to even ask this? Let me just get 7 more cards real quick, and we'll try to see what starts with the Three of Swords. So the leader or the personality person, they're coming out. Oh, that's why. Okay, so in the Sagittarius reading, that's why. Because the Sag reading, I was like, it was about Sag viewing humor differently. And I said, well, why is the humor came out as the Three of Swords? So somebody that's in charge, or like somebody is coming off as a leader, or this is how they look. They look happy, or they look like they're fine. They look like they're fine out in public. But really, they're the Three of Swords. That makes sense. I need to write that down. Hold on. Let me write that down. So I don't know, Libra, this could be you. You're an air sign. Maybe you're like, I want that person to see what I really feel like, or what's really going on, or... All right, but let's continue. Let me get 7 more cards. See how it be clicking? It be clicking. I be like, I don't know what the fuck that means. It's like 10 minutes later. All right, let's see. Let's see. So Sag did come out as the King of Cups. And if we're talking about this, right, they may not notice this because they're coming out as the King of Cups. They were coming out as self-love. So they may be like in a selfish mindset, or just not even... They just don't view... We don't view the Three of Swords as happy or humor. It's disappointing, it's dark, it's sad, that's what it is. It's disappointment. It's a disappointing thought. Okay, let's continue. All right, so we got the Star. There's Aquarius. So a Sag, if it's a Sag involved, they're looking at an Aquarius, or the way they're moving, they just don't see it that way. Okay, there's the Tower. So 2 Aquarius energy, King of Swords. Yeah, the Hangman, a new perspective, the Lovers. There's a couple ways I could read this too, right? Like, so I want to go deeper on another level, and I'll get back to this. But you could be talking about like your mindset, and how like you can think of a sad thought and make yourself cry. You can think of a good memory and make yourself happy or laugh. Literally, you can trigger like your emotions in your body with your mind, if this is what we're talking about. So I just want to throw that out there. That could be a situation too. If there's anything dealing with people, I see 2 Aquarius, a Pisces, and a Gemini. That may be a scenario that's coming out. But there's definitely a new perspective on your mindset, or how you view something. Because like I said, if from the outside looking in, something looks like it's happy, or somebody looks like a great leader. All right, so let's see then. What are you in passion really quick, Libras? Everybody's coming out as a 10 of Wands. Okay, so this is difficult. This could be like a lot built up. All right, there you go right there, the Justice. And you got the King of Wands, Six of Pentacles, and the Ace of Pentacles, the Ten of Pentacles. Okay, so you may want somebody to know the truth about why you received something, why you received an opportunity. Okay, I'm gonna leave justice there. Let's see what else. That's odd. All right, so what's making leadership sad or disappointed or feel insecure? What do they see? Okay, so they see the Four of Wands. That's what I'm saying. Like on paper, something looks like this is what's going on. I don't know. This is odd. So whoever's in charge, they may see other people getting along with each other, having friendships, getting married, celebrations. That's making somebody feel insecure. What are you going to do with courage and knowledge here then, Libra? Let's try to focus on you. We'll see the intuition part. So what do you have the knowledge about here? What do you know to do? Okay, you've got the Five of Cups, Five of Wands. I mentioned that. Three of Pentacles, and then the Nine of Wands. So I'm saying, what? Because it's like the insecurity comes. It's an odd reading. Let's see. So you want somebody to know the truth. Let's all right, so intuitively we should know the truth, right? So when we're looking at something, let's just clarify on paper what we see, and then we'll see intuitively what we should know. All right, so on paper, what do we see here in this scenario? All right, the Temperance, something about a Sagittarius. Oh yeah, I did say that, the Angel card. All right. So Angel, we got Angel, Strength, Page of Wands, and Magician. Sagittarius, Leo, Aries. So something dwindles down. We figure out something about ourselves. The Sagittarius reading, the Aries reading, I was saying that they inspired the Leo to do something, say something, whatever. All right, instinctually, what will somebody know here? Something may not have anything to do with a Sagittarius. But instinctually, what will we know? So we see that on paper or whatever. Yeah, the Nine of Swords, the High Priestess. Why is somebody worried? And then the Six of Pentacles and the Sun. So intuitively, we will receive like information. We will receive opportunities. I do know, but it's like, it's weird. It's a weird reading. What do we receive intuitively? It could be information, knowledge, things like that. I could be cash flow, fluidity. Yeah, it's perspective on what we see. That's what this is about. Literally, you're just like, intuitively, I wish that you would see the truth, or yeah, this is your reading, Libra. So, but you have knowledge, you have information. So maybe you're like, I just wish that intuitively I would automatically know how to do blah, blah, blah. But you still have information. You're still able to do something here. It's not like something's not a lost cause. You may want to always be able to be in an intuitive state, and that may not always be the case. Okay, let's see. What's the last bit of information or energy you should be in? Okay, you got the Page of Swords. So courage and knowledge, I feel like you do need to observe something, pay attention to it here. All right, what's the outcome for you? Scorpio is next, and then Capricorn. Okay, so you've got the World. So a cycle does come to an end. What's going to come to an end here, Libras? Looking at something at face value, potential. All right, what's going to be the new cycle? We know we're talking about intuition, but all right, transition, love, dominance, and mystery. All right, so we're not going to take things at face value anymore. That's what's going on. What's the outcome here? Or not going to see potential in something anymore that's not helpful. All right, yeah, there's the Queen of Wands. So there's just truth, or it could be a Sag. But yeah, somebody's literally looking at all the times where they believed in potential, or they were looking at all the times where they were viewing something at face value. All right, and it led to losses here. All right, so they're walking away from that. There's the Eight of Pentacles. Now they're in the Ten of Pentacles. All right, so they could be walking towards something that actually has something fruitful, something easy to use, things like that. Something that's actually resourceful. Okay. All right. Let's see. Scorpio is next. Scorpio, I wonder if Capricorn is going to come out for y'all. I be getting Capricorn and Scorpio together a lot. I don't know. I'm just thinking about that. All right, Scorpios. Capricorn will be last. We're almost done, y'all. And I will spend the rest of my day doing my Oracle deck because I'm excited. Okay, let's see. Scorpios. All right, what is the scenario for the Scorpios? What's the situation surrounding the Scorpios? Okay, peace. Not noticing something, not worried. We're calm, we're resting. Peace. All right, what role do you play here, Scorpios? So your potential, all this time. All this time we've been pulling potential. So maybe you're the person that we're not going to take at face value, or... All right, well, your potential, you're giving, you could be sending a message, like a physical message, actual message. All right, let's see. How do I want to ask this? What energy should you be in, Scorpios? You should be in love. That has been your advice last couple of days, like doing something out of love for an individual. You might need to be nice, kind, care about somebody else in this scenario. Now, this is advice. That does not mean you're going to do it. Thank you for the gift. Thank you. What should you be doing out of love here, Scorpios? This is what you should be doing. All right, you got style, strength, attitude. I'm sorry, let me chill. Attitude and inspiration. All right, so there could be something dealing with a Cancer. With potential, what else are you doing in potential currently, Scorpios? Got versatility, yeah, spirituality, hustle, and leadership. All right, so there's something about that leadership energy. Let's see what comes out. Let's see. So we're starting out with the Page of Swords. There you go, the Death card. So Scorpio, you noticed something, right? You observed something. There's a strength. You may have a Leo placement. So let's slow down really quick before I even continue. Some of you may have like a Leo rising, Leo moon. All right. Or you're dealing with a Leo. You notice something, and now here's the struggle, or here's the difficulty with the Leo energy. All right, we got the Nine of Wands, the Page of Wands, the Knight of Wands. A lot of fire. Jesus Christ. It is the Justice. Libra. Libra wanted somebody to follow their intuition. Libra wanted somebody to follow their intuition. Do you have all three of these placements? You might have like a Libra moon, a Leo moon or something like that. Okay, let's see. What did you observe? What did you notice right here? You're like eavesdropping, or you're observing something that you're maybe not supposed to see. Oh, the World. Okay, so you see that something has ended. What ended? You know that something is different. Like, you know that we're in a new phase. So what ended here? Okay, the Nine of Pentacles. What is the new phase that started? The Queen of Wands. I gotta figure out what that Nine of Pentacles means. Because Sagittarius also had that, the perspective on the Nine of Pentacles. And Sag is a fire sign. All right, so... All right, bet, whatever. So we notice... I didn't pull... Let me see what this is. Hold on. Let me slow down. We're going to clarify. What's the Nine of Pentacles? This is why I like doing it. It's like a puzzle. All right, spirituality. What did it turn into with the Queen of Wands? Order. Okay, so this is how I would read this, right? Somebody does not only rely on spirituality, and they're not just there's confidence right there. So somebody's not just sitting around praying, or they're not just sitting around manifesting, or like I said in the Sag reading, the perspective with spirituality and confidence, somebody's not just sitting around anymore and waiting for something to come to them, or they're not just... How do I want to explain it? There could be a religious belief system that they believe in. It could be, like I said, just the interpretation of the card, the Nine of Pentacles. Like if somebody reads their own cards, right? But this is noticeable, though. So somebody's not just... that's inter-order. So the Queen of Wands is actually controlling something, or what are they controlling? What are they organizing? So they're actually starting to be more intentional. They're actually starting to plan more. So I'm going to show y'all. This is what ended, is the Nine of Pentacles energy. Now they're the Queen of Wands. So this can also be like a graduation, because this is more significant. All right, a Queen is more significant than the Nine of Pentacles. Not a bad card, but it just means like this. I would rather be in a Queen energy than, you know, the Nine of Pentacles. All right, but you notice this. You're like observing this person. What if they started to plan or organize for themselves? All right, versatility and luck. Okay, so this could be something dealing with that Cancer, but they're planning ahead. They're planning ahead of schedule, or let's see what else they've created. So you notice this, though. Yeah, the Queen of Cups. They could be planning for for the Cancer, or they're setting the Cancer up for something. Or this is within themselves. The Empress is all four queens. So now they did this part. Now they're on to the next part. All right. It could definitely be maturing. There's the Empress. There it is. And so either somebody's getting that Cancer ready for something. They setting that Cancer up they're getting their daughter ready. They're getting their friend, their sister ready. Or they're evolving themselves. All right, yeah, and then there's a Ten of Cups. I feel like, too, this is the way somebody looks and dresses. They could be more like, they make themselves more presentable or something to the public. All right, that could be something. So, you know, you're paying attention to that. And you start to be... The way I depicted Scorpio is kind of wild. I'm not even going to hold you. All right, so this is what you start doing. That's what you start doing. All right, so there's a change here. Now something starts to become difficult, the Ten of Wands. What starts to become difficult here? The Eight of Cups and then the Emperor. Wow. So something basically... When you go from the Empress to the Emperor, it starts to become difficult for somebody to protect what they've created. Some of you, okay, I can see this as moon signs too, but for some of you, like, you notice that this is going well. You notice that that's being created. You're trying to stop somebody from dealing with a burden, or you're trying to stop... Let me figure out what else you're doing. What else did you do in the Death card, Scorpio? I knew it. I'm a beast. The Ten of Wands. You made something difficult. You made it difficult for somebody to go to the next level or something like that. Or you made it difficult for somebody to move. What did you make difficult? Or you gave somebody a burden. I don't know if you did it on purpose. If this is within yourself, you may have made something difficult for yourself when you were already, something was going well. So this is you, Scorpio. Do not self-sabotage. What did you make it difficult to do here? Ambition. I'm just pulling the cards. All right. So if this is within yourself, you are literally taking on baggage and you're making it difficult for you to focus on your work. But this, I'm not going to hold you. The way this looks is you looking at somebody else that's doing well and you made it difficult for them to work or build something. I'm not going to hold you. That's, or you did it to yourself. All right. Why? What did you do to make it difficult? What'd you hide? You hid information like this. Say this is a coworker. You did this to like a coworker or something. Or it doesn't have to be a coworker. What did you hide? Yeah, dominance, transition, and luck. Literally, this somebody is trying to, you are controlling it, so it's hard for somebody to go to a new level or go to a new. What's the Justice card? What's the Justice card? Guidance. Somebody may have just fit like followed your lead. This is the people, right? So there's a Scorpio. If these are separate people, there's you, Scorpio, a Leo, and a Libra. Or you have a Libra child with a Leo, and that made it difficult. Or you saw at work that a Leo was doing well and you made it difficult for that Leo to progress, and a Libra helped you do that. That's something like that. This is all within yourself. You made something difficult in the workplace by hiding something or keeping something to yourself or keeping some sort of secret. What's the insecurity here? Now somebody's insecure or they feel worried or something. This is why. Wait, why did you do this? Why did you make something difficult? What's the point? Or, yeah, as competition, fight. It's either competition, you're either competing with somebody else, or if you made it difficult for yourself, you're conflicted within yourself. All right, well, what's the outcome for you, Scorpios? Let's see. What's the outcome for you? You said that's diabolical. Y'all don't know Scorpios the way I know Scorpios, okay? Now, Scorpio women, it is what I know one Scorpio woman that did do something very foul, extremely foul. But Scorpio men, this is right or up their alley. This doesn't surprise me at all. This doesn't surprise me at all. And as somebody who has worked for 3 Scorpios, no, 4. I've had 4 Scorpio managers and 4 Scorpio business owners. Hands down, if I could choose it, the worst sign to work for. They are extremely spiteful. They do not, I'm sorry, Scorpios, we got to take a break. And this includes the men and the women. I worked with 2 Scorpio women and 2 Scorpio men, and I did a side hustle with a Scorpio woman. They do not ever want anybody to be better than them. I don't give a damn who it is. I don't care how nice you are to them. You can never outshine a Scorpio in the workplace. They don't give a damn. They will do anything that they can to tear your ass down. I will tell you a story. I'm sorry. I got to interrupt y'all reading. I worked for this Scorpio. I can say it now because I ain't got the job no more, so fuck them. But I worked for this Scorpio. She was my manager. We went on a trip to Thailand. She was pregnant, probably about 6-7 months pregnant. She ate something and got sick, right? So she was the manager. I was the supervisor. We even had another company working with us and helping us, right? So she ends up in the hospital on like one of the last days. I had to do a presentation. So we had to do the closing presentation. We all worked on it together. Me, the staff, and the company that was helping us. They were above all of us, right? So we all worked together, put this presentation together. I was prepared to present it. This bitch in the hospital, scraps the entire presentation. And it's not even just me. Scraps the entire presentation, redoes the presentation, and comes in sick to do it so that I could not present that thing. Then she gave me a bad review after the trip, even though I did all the work while she was in the hospital. That is what Scorpios do. I don't fuck with y'all. I'm not gonna hold you. I don't. In real life, like I cannot. I cannot. Y'all are wild people. I can list some Scorpio. Diddy is a Scorpio. It's right up Diddy's alley. How many people did he steal from in his career? That's what Scorpios do. That's what they do. All right. So this is what's going on. This is the reading. You got Scorpio around you. If they have Scorpio rising, Scorpio moon, this is what they do. I don't care where the Scorpio is at. I don't know. I don't care where it's at in the chart. This is what they do. This is what they do. All right. Just watch it. If you work with a Scorpio, you need to look up people's birthdays. Don't trust that Scorpio at work. Look at the company calendar. And whoever born in November, don't trust that nigga. Don't trust them. They not gonna help you. Do not. This reading makes perfect sense. This might be the clearest reading that I did today. I didn't even need to pull cards for this. I could have just told y'all that story. Now, Scorpios, this is your reading. It is what it is. I don't know. But let's see. What's the advice for the Scorpios? Okay. You got the same birthday as Diddy. Watch out for this guy, y'all. Watch out for him. I'm telling you. Scorpios are cool friends. You could be a friend with a Scorpio. Scorpio men are very attractive. But don't trust them with your money. Don't trust them with your career. And don't trust them to help you. And I said what I said. I don't give a damn. I don't care. I don't care. Do not do it. And I'm going to clip it because I'm going to warn everybody about y'all today because it came out. So now I can say it. All right, let's see. Y'all better, I'm telling you. I'm telling you. But y'all can keep watching me, though. I'm going to still give y'all unbiased readings. This would just happen to come out today. And like I said, you can apply it still within yourself. You may have made something difficult for yourself, Scorpios, okay? It is what it is. All right? If a fine Scorpio man came up to me today, I'll go out with him. It's life. But I know not to trust that nigga around my wallet or around my job, my career, my dreams, or my goals. Okay? So please. All right, what other energy should you be in? November born. I really only know, you said you fucking love this channel. I really only have dealt with November born Scorpios. I don't really know any, what would it be, October? Yeah, I don't really know any October Scorpios. All right, but your advice is defiance. This is what you're going to do anyway. This is how y'all are. So you don't need that advice. No, I'm just playing. All right, what? All right, what are y'all going to go against or do? You're being told to do something. You're going to do it differently. All right, so you got personality. What are you going to do instead, Scorpios? All right, you got sexuality. Sexuality, again, could be something dealing with a Gemini. All right, and then connectivity and attitude. So it's either dealing with a Gemini or there's a perspective. So you might not like what I said. You said, OMG, I'm so supportive. I'm sure you are, girl. I'm sure y'all are. Like I said, listen, Scorpios are cool as a friend. And that's it. You can go to the club with a Scorpio. You can drink, smoke, have sex with a Scorpio if you want to. That's where it needs to stop. No, it can't be anything serious. They crazy. It's all right, though, girl. You still welcome here. I ain't got no beef with you. Y'all can still watch. All right, so what... What are you going to do instead, Scorpios? All right, you got the Chariot. Your advice was the Chariot anyway. Your advice was something dealing with a Cancer. But yeah, so yep, there's a new perspective. 8 of Swords, Judgment, Ace of Swords, the High Priestess. A new perspective on intuition. All right. You say you used to be crazy in your karmic era. I know. I already know. All right, I'm surrounded by Scorpio placements. I know some Scorpio moons, Scorpio risings. Ooh, they terrible. I don't know. I just can't escape them, child. They just all over the place. I can't. But anywho, Capricorn is next. You're a Scorpio star. Listen, if a Scorpio is on your side, then yeah, that's beneficial. They'll throw somebody under the bus quick. But if you're not on their side, boy, they're going to make it hard for you. That's any Scorpio placement. I hope y'all are listening. It's not just this ones that's born in November. If they rising sign is a Scorpio, you need to be careful. If it's a Scorpio moon. All right, Capricorn is next. But that just depends, too, on the sign, though. I'm a Sag, so Scorpio is in my 12th house. So I don't have a great relationship to Scorpio placements. So whatever, that's another thing that I talked about in my birth chart reading last night. So if you guys are, like, whatever sign you have in the 12th house, the energy that I got for Scorpios, that you're going to have that energy for whatever sign is in your 12th house. That's where your challenges are. That's your hidden enemies, hidden friends. That you're going to have that issue with whatever's in your 12th house. So if you got, I'm a Sag, so if you got Sag in your 12th house, you might not get along with Sagittarius very well. So that's it. You say you never met a Scorpio that wasn't nuts. Yeah, Scorpios are crazy. Scorpios are crazy. I've done a lot of Scorpio research, okay? So I know what I'm talking about. When y'all hear me talk about a Scorpio, it ain't one. It's not one. I'm not talking about one. I'm not talking about just one. I'm talking about all. Listen, I can't tell y'all all my business, though. Okay, I got a lot of stories that I would love to share with y'all. Maybe one day. Maybe I'll trickle them in every now and then. But I can't. I be telling y'all stories. I can't give you all the stories. All right, Capricorns, because I don't be knowing who's watching, I don't know who's watching. They could be in the cut. They could be in the cut. All right, what's the scenario surrounding the Capricorns? Shout out to the Scorpios, though. You say you have to get crazy. We need, we need it. It's all right. We need Scorpios. We need the elements. It is what it is. It's a challenge. All right, what's the what's the energy surrounding the Capricorns? Let's see. All right, knowledge. All right, Capricorn. So there's experience here. Somebody has knowledge. All right, what role do you play here, Capricorns? Let's see. Okay, truth. All right, so you see the truth about something. You're accepting it. You could be sharing the truth. What do you see the truth about, Capricorns? What do you see the truth about? Leadership. Okay. So, okay, these are connected. So in the Libra reading, it was about how leadership is perceived. And they came out as a 3 of Swords. They came out as a little insecure or something like that. So you see the truth about like an authoritative figure, somebody that's in charge. Or maybe this is about like, what it takes to be a leader. Any of those elements. But we're going to see what this is. All right, so you already see it though. All right, so what is the truth about leadership that you can see? Oh, intuition. All right. So somebody in your case, the leader that you're watching, they are following their intuition. So the person you're watching, they do know what they're talking about. Or they are intuitive, or they're using a certain gift. So this is the difference. I'm going to tell y'all the difference. The Libra reading, it was about leadership, but something like information was missing and they desired intuition. They wanted to follow their intuition. In this case, the person that you're watching, they are intuitive. They know what they're doing. All right. So this can also be like some sort of natural gift, like that they're really good at. All right. So somebody could be like a natural talent. Like this person is really good at doing hair. They actually do nails. They actually are a good singer. They're a great chef. Like something is their natural inclination. All right. They know how to, they could be a good coach, a good teacher. All right. What energy should you, what information, what energy should you be in with what you're observing? What do you do with this information? Okay, so you've got defiance. So this leader knows what they're doing. So I feel like if you're able to compare two leaders, I feel like there's somebody you're not supposed to listen to, or there's something you're not supposed to do. So what are you being told to do? You got tenacity, focus. Yeah, there's a mindset. There's an energy that wants you. Who's telling you to do that? Because that's not intuition then. So who's telling you to do that? Somebody wants you to have a trap mindset about something. The Nine of Pentacles. This is tied together. This is the same thing I just said that. So I said in the Sag reading that Sagittarius has to change the way they view the Nine of Pentacles and spirituality. And I just said that because I was okay, I need to look at how that card looks, or what does that card mean? Then in Scorpio's reading, we went from spirituality to order. So they were planning something, they're creating it, they became the Empress. So this person is telling somebody to focus on something over and over again. They're telling that focus or determination is connected to what? Or they're telling somebody to constantly think about something over and over again. Somebody's trying to say that these two things are connected. They're trying to say that this is connected to love. So that is not, something is not connected to love, or what the fuck? Okay, what are you going to do instead here, Capricorn? So you'll know this. We're going to see what intuition is telling you to do. Yeah, you're going to be innovation. Okay, so what are you going to be able to create for yourself? You may deal with an Aries. They came out as innovation, but what are you going to be able to create for yourself? Okay, you've got inspiration and self-love. Sag came out as self-love. You're going to be able to create something. So remember, we talked about, how am I going to explain this? Basically, this is an energy where you're being told that you would either receive love, or if you want to get something, you have to do something out of love for other people, but you're doing something where it works when you are yourself. So I feel like that's what I'm getting. I feel like you're comparing two different leaders. One person's strategy doesn't really make sense. The other person is actually teaching you something, or they actually know something. So what is this leader's intuition telling them, or what are they guiding you to do? Yeah, their intuition is, they know that there's a trap perspective on knowledge. Or, so I feel like this is the thing, right? You're listening to this person, you're listening to them just off of appearance, I feel like. Somebody may look like they have like good advice or something. I guess you're going off of appearance. All right, let's see. I mean, you're going to see the truth. You'll know who's right and who's wrong. So you don't really need too much of a reading, because you know what it is. All right, let's see. Let's get 8 cards here. What's leadership real quick for you? Because I want to see if it looks different than the Libra reading. That one came out as a 3 of Swords. Okay, yeah. This one, leadership with the 2 of Wands, they're actually making decisions on their own. All right, so they can already be like the leader in the Libra reading came out as a 3 of Swords. So they were like disappointed or hurt or something like that. This person is actually making a good decision or good action. What else do they instinctually know here? They're following their instincts. Okay, we got the Page of Wands, the 4 of Swords. There's the Temperance. We'll clarify. Why is the burden part? Yeah, that's the Scorpio and the burden part. All right. First of all, there's a couple ways this could go, right? Whoever's in charge, they know that how people view, like there's a trap perspective of knowledge or information or teachers. All right, so they know, like, okay, if I express myself this way, if I say it this way, it may go unheard, the 4 of Swords. All right, so there could be like a certain, I don't know, way to describe this. All right, let's continue. Let me get, there's the confidence card right there. All right, let's get 4 more cards real quick. We're going to see where you are with truth. Truth can you be you too with the temperance. All right, yeah, the 6 of Cups, 7 of Swords. There's the burden. Same cards came out, and then the Lovers. All right, so we got Sag and Gemini, which is a polar opposite. So this is the teacher and the learner, or like the person that's talking and the listener. All right, so literally, I feel like somebody's intention is to burden. I just said that in the Scorpio reading, but somebody's talking about love here, and that has nothing to do with something. This could be, again, like I was saying, the Lover's card isn't really love all the time, or I don't know if I've ever read it as love when I really started to learn how to read cards, honestly. But let's see. So let's see what you're seeing in truth, or what your energy is in truth, and then we're going to see what you're going to do in innovation. Okay, so truth is a 2 of Cups. Looks like you agree with this person, like you agree. Right, 2 of Cups is getting along. And we're talking about intuition. Intuition is number 2 in the deck. So when I do major arcanas, they basically include all of the 2s, right? So you agree, or you understand with what's going on, or you see it. You're cool with it. All right, so let's see what else. What else were you told to do? Let's try to get clarity on that, because it's like you're supposed to focus on something, and then you'd receive love for that, or your mindset is supposed to be maybe focused on love or something. That's what you were told to do. There's that Scorpio. Was potential. I already told you about the Scorpios. I'm not going to explain it. There's there's a 9 of Swords and then the Star. So you're supposed to be either worried or not. Yeah, I can't make it up. Star, Moon card, there's intuition. So somebody's like telling you you're supposed to worry about something. You're supposed to be anxious about this. That is what, okay. All right, what are you going to do instead with innovation? Thank you, Lestar. Thank you. All right, there's Judgment. There's your Wheel of Fortune. There's the Hermit. So I feel like you're going to, if you're going to step into innovation, like we said, we see truth and we see knowledge. So you can visibly see it already. You already know what to do. You have experience with this. If I was to talk about what you're going to create for yourself, I feel like you're going to learn how to use your time more wisely. You're going to think in a way where, excuse me, you're going to think in a way where at the end of it all, are you satisfied, or are you built up, or are you okay to be alone, basically, with self-love? And it doesn't mean that you can never have people around you. It doesn't mean anything like support and stuff like that. It doesn't mean that. It just means that if something happens, if something was to shift, all right, boom, I'm good. I'm able to take care of myself. I'm able to be comfortable. I have stability for myself, things like that. Another thing I can see too, this is major arcana, so this is a big deal. Damn, I was going to say something else. I forgot. Because the thing is, somebody's telling you that something's directly connected to love, or like somebody will support you or love you, but that's not automatic. Something is not automatic. Some of you can also be dealing with a Virgo. All right, Virgo is the Hermit. All right, so let's see. What's going to be the outcome of what you create for yourselves, Capricorn? You got the Tower. Okay, so that's definitely going to be a shift. You're going to have a mental shift as well here. Yeah, there's the other leader. I don't know what that is. That's interesting. All right, Capricorn, you are going to create a shift. Let's just see. What else is the outcome for yourself? You're going to create a different perspective. Okay, so healing. So let's clarify this really quick and see what the issue is with what you were doing. Because I feel like before, It's about where you were getting the information from or who. All right. And I feel like you could even be leadership and intuition. This could be you. All right. You're like, wait, I'm actually doing better at this than so and so is telling me to do. I know what to do. So, all right. So, what's the current issue? It doesn't mean that's something, that big of a deal, but okay, dominance, what are you going to heal this into? Leadership. So I feel like this could be you. All right. I'm also getting to if there's anything involved with like children or anything like that, you're gonna be like, okay, I'm not gonna try to control you. I'm gonna lead you to do this, that, and the third, right? I just have to throw that out there because it's like if there's a scenario with like parenting or whatever, if you're trying to control what your child does or learns, that may not help. It would be better to lead them on something that they actually like to do or want to do. All right, but yeah, so that's it, y'all. That's the end of the reading. Thank you, Vanessa. There, don't message them. Don't message them. Okay, few things before I go, guys. First of all, if you're watching me on TikTok, this will be up on YouTube. I'm about to timestamp it when I end the video, so give me about like 5 minutes. It should load. It will be in the description box. If you guys like the deck that I'm using, I created it. It is my deck. It's available in the store. It's 35 bucks plus shipping. So y'all can check that out if you liked it. I'm working on the Oracle deck as well today. So hopefully I get that soon. And if you guys want to book readings, any personal readings, you get a 30-minute YouTube video. It's unlisted. Nobody can see your video. Like I have about 10 up there right now. Y'all can't see it. So don't worry. If you are worried about that, you want me to take it down after you watch it, that's fine. Just let me know. You can ask about up to like four questions in a personal video. I would recommend because that way you can get real good. Ooh, that's cute. Thank you. But you can get more information if you do like 4 questions. If you guys don't have specific questions and you ever just want like a general message or something, I can do that too. And typically if it's a general reading, I'll do 3 general spreads for you to take up your whole 30 minutes. So yeah, that's how we do it. Everything's in my store. Anything that you guys need, it's in there. Let me know if y'all need anything as far as any questions are concerned. Last night, I did do the how to read astrology and birth charts videos. That's up on my YouTube. So you guys can check that out if you need a little like information on how to do that or if you're interested, because I know y'all hear me talk about the moon and the rising signs a lot and how I can see them play out in the cards. So that definitely will help. And then if there's any other information, like when you watch that video, if there's anything that you guys do want to know that I haven't discussed yet with astrology, definitely let me know. If anybody's interested in birth chart readings, email me. I can do those same price as the tarot readings. I need to put it on the website because I haven't done them in a little while. But if anybody wants to do that, I can do that as well. But yes, last note that I want to say, y'all, just remember when it comes to spirituality and manifesting, always learn to take action. All right, that is why I try my best to give the most logically grounded readings possible. I don't want to tell anybody to just sit around and wait for anything. I don't ever want to tell you, oh, this opportunity is just going to come. I want you to know that you still have power over your own free will. Use your time wisely. Research the goals that you guys have. Stay consistent on the things that you're building up. That trumps anything else that anybody will ever tell you in any reading. All right. All right, y'all. Have a good Saturday. Enjoy y'all weekend. I will be back tomorrow. One more thing. Members do get a monthly question. You guys get a monthly question, monthly reading. It's via email. And you guys do get love and career readings. I will be doing some content for my members. All right. All right, y'all. Thank y'all for watching.